I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Dead skin?
Yeah, that's another show.
Oh, my God. Good morning. Happy Friday. Yes, it's Friday.
Woohoo.
And a happy Friday to all across the Delaware Valley. This is the Anthony Gargano Show, presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. TrueMark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. All right, so late at night, Phillies go down in extras after a 2-hour and 44-minute delay.
Felt like forever.
Right? The Phillies play ball again, and Ozuna ends it off a Ross. Phils drop 2-3 to Atlanta, on to St. Louis. The good news from last night is that Romano Pitt gave you a clean inning, and he looked decent.
He's throwing like 96 and a half.
Yeah.
Finally.
Like, all right. I'll take that every day of the week.
They say they found like his mechanics, and now he's up 2 or 3 miles per hour. How do they just find that? Or like, how does he not know he's not doing something differently?
No, dude, listen, that's real. It's funny you said that. Now, again, we're talking about youth stuff. I'm going to compare it to, but you find tweaks all the time because you get into these weird habits and it affects you. Like we were breaking down Massimo last night pitching, right? So he has a football delivery because he plays quarterback, and again, this is just not apples to apples, but it's in the same family, fruit family. I got Johnny Marks in my head. God forbid I got to push that out. The way he releases the ball, it's short, and he kind of throws it over his ear, right? Because that's a quarterback. Like a catcher does the same thing, right? So I got to get him up here to then stride, right? So we were working on last night, me and the guys, and then we had him up here snapping it, and it added like a good 3 to 4 miles an hour on his velocity.
Sure.
Like it was like all of a sudden he started to pop the glove, and he's in upper 60s, right? So I'm going, all right, like dude, big chest, get the ball up here, snap, right? We'll worry about your bottom half kind of because everything's got to be in consortium, right? Everything's got to be in flow together,
right?
But just from a short to this, because you're getting more whip, right? That gives you, and like you see that stuff, it happens with pitchers all the time. I mean, sometimes it's drastic, like Minaya with the Mets, where like he dropped his arm angle and picked up all that velocity, right?
Yeah.
But those little tweaks like that.
That was on purpose, right?
Yes, but little things like that, you fall into habits. And it could be something really small, right, as a part where your arm angle is.
Yeah, I'm just amazed at a guy who's been doing it for thousands of hours. At this point, there's something going on, and he doesn't feel it.
But hitters, same thing. Like hitters, it could be, you drop your elbow, your stride. Like
it's such a weird game.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at the way Bryce changed his stance. Like he does it all the time. But like he'll always have his front foot down. Like some guys have it up, right, and then you stride, right. He has his down, which is for fastball, and then he uses his arms to, if it's an off-speed pitch, to kind of read it, right?
Yeah,
to slow him down. But with your front foot down, you're always ready for the fastball. So it's just swing, right? And then you can adjust if it's a breaking pitch.
All right.
It's so interesting.
There's
like
so many
the
moving
movement,
parts.
Yeah, like the movement is fascinating. So, look, if they discovered something, that's great.
Yeah.
And that because he's one of the keys to the season. You can't just. The thing that worries me, and again, I'm not worried. I mean, they're going to win the division. And then it's going to be what they look like in October. But the only thing that worries me is you can't burn Alvarado out.
Yeah, that's a big concern.
You can't do that.
You can't be coming in 2 out every 3 days throwing 30 pitches.
Nah, not the kind of velocity he throws with. Like, that's just not going to hold up over a long season. But I mean, I think that's one of the keys. Anyway, I mean, you lose the game, but who cares? I mean,
it's such a weird game with that delay. I mean, Luzardo pitched well again. He looked good. Schwarber's just ridiculous.
He's funny. He didn't have his best stuff.
No,
but he battled. Luzardo's really good. So he battled, and then it's on to St. Louis.
Schwarb's being Schwarbs.
Yeah.
He's ridiculous right now.
He is. He's unbelievable. He really is.
I saw MLB was doing a thing on him. He went from like 2 years ago, he's batting like 191 with 48 bombs or 46. And it was like 217 with 46 bombs. And last year, I think he was up to like 235.
Yeah.
Power went down, but his on base is up.
Yeah.
Just changed his swing and his approach. I really hope they extend him. There's chatter now. John Heyman was on Twitter saying that he expects an extension to come pretty soon.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be surprised by it. So
the only thing that worries you is contract year. You know what happens at post-contract year.
he's been consistent though.
Nah,
but I know
don't
he
really
looks
worry
real
spry
and fast
really
and
does.
dialed in right now.
The only thing you have to worry about is what they look like now. You wonder about what would they look like in 2 years from now.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't need much from him other than
bombs.
Yeah, bat the ball.
Yeah. All right, we got a lot of fun for you today. Heavy football today. Franny Films is going to join us.
Nice.
All right, Baldy will join us.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll get to Baldy and Films, and we'll go through the draft. So I've narrowed it down to 2 guys I think they're going to look at.
Oh, yeah?
In the first round.
Are you assuming they're staying put?
No, I think they'll trade up.
Okay.
But the 2 guys are 2 D linemen. Nolan and Green are the 2 guys that I think that they are on their radar.
All right, tell me about Nolan.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to dive into it.
Okay. Oh, there he is. Foot sander Marks. Johnny Foot Sander. Why don't you pull out your foot sander and show it to Anthony?
It's in my bag. Are you talking foot sanding already this morning, or does he not know about it?
How can I not?
I'm I'm good. I don't need to say it.
I'm traumatized by it.
Yeah, just hearing the story has traumatized me of your dead skin.
It's really changed my life, this foot sander, man. I was taking Vaseline and just putting so much on my feet, and then putting a sock over it and saran wrapping the
put Vaseline to go to bed. Vaseline on his feet, wrapped in saran wrap, wrapped in a sock.
That's how bad my heels were cracking. And then I got this specialized cream, which helped, but it never helped. But so that I can't get rid of these calluses because they're all dried and they get big. So you get the sander, and it's like you're sanding. It's like a belt sander. It's like you're doing a floor. You're trying to refinish. The stuff's flying everywhere. The residue's flying everywhere.
Dead skin cells just all in the air floating around.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's just
dude.
Nasty.
But he does those pelvic floor exercises because he goes in the bathroom all night. So he's walking around his house squishing these feet in the Vaseline saran wrap his socks 3 times a night walking to the bathroom.
Out, like it's a miserable morning. Yeah. And the images that John provided me this week, thank God Baldy's there. Baldy's like the
Baldy. You wouldn't even associate with.
Now you were supposed to ask him about pelvic floor exercises.
I'm not asking Baldy about that. All right,
I'm sure he would.
I'm telling you, I'm not asking him about that. That's not a conversation that we're going to have.
That's not a conversation that we're going to have. Look at all the dead skin cells on top of it.
Come on, man. I don't want to see that. My God.
It smells like feet. Every time he pulls it out.
Dude, I just...
Saran wrap feet. How about those Phillies, by the way? How about those Phillies? So what a great night. Castellanos gets moved up to the lineup and has a platinum sombrero.
How do
Is that
I
what it's
even
called?
go from here?
You just say goodbye, and I'll let you get back to the.
No, because we got Nola on the mound. He a Nola hater. He says Nola's Joe Blanton.
No, I say that
yes, you did.
So I've been accused of being negative on Nola. NON. I'm not negative on Nola, but like Aaron Nola at this point of his career is this version of Joe Blanton. and when I say Joe Blanton,
he's got dead skin cells in the brain now, I think.
But Joe Blanton was
Joe Blanton
was a 6-inning, three run guy. That's what you needed out of him, right? What you need out of Aaron Nola in this rotation is 6 innings and 3 runs, and that's what he's going to give you. And he has higher upside than that, so he'll give you better than that sometimes. But you think his stuff's going to get better as he ages? His stuff's already deteriorated from last year and the year before.
It's not deteriorating. Come, stop being dramatic. And listen, he's always going to be around the plate. That's what he does. He lives around the plate. When you live around the plate, you're going to give up home runs. It's not like he's giving up a bunch of hits, like 6 innings, 9 hits. Joe Blanton was 6 innings, 9 hits. Nola's 6 innings, 4 hits. 2 of them are home runs.
Right. Well,
there's a big difference.
Well, not in runs.
There's a huge difference in how you navigate a lineup.
He's a rich man's Joe Blanton, is how I described him.
He's not Joe Blanton. Joe Blanton was horrible, right? He was a blob. No, he's not. I'm not going to let you do that to Nola. He's not Joe Blanton. Nola's got good stuff.
Nola's ERA last year ranked 26th in baseball.
Okay.
That's a 2.
Last
30 teams.
Last 25 starts, only in 10 of those
He's
starts.
around the plate. He's always going to be around the plate, which means he's going to give up home runs.
But here's my point. In 25 starts, only 10 times has he pitched to better than 6 innings and 3 runs. So in 15 starts, he hasn't done better than that.
Yeah, but you have to go deeper inside the why, how the runs are. The hits per inning is the biggest. Hits per inning is a huge thing in how you judge a starting pitcher.
When he can't command his fastball, he gets overly reliant on his off-speed stuff. And he hangs stuff. And then that's where guys are sitting on pitches.
Actually, it's not even that. It's when he catches the play. He's around the plate. He gets in trouble when he tries to get strike one, and he'll get me over fastballs, right? His off-speed stuff has never been great. He spots it.
Yeah, you're right. The velocity's not high enough to where he can make a mistake, and if he catches too much of the plate and they're looking for it, they smash home runs. It's going to be like he's still a good starter. See, people are so upset when I say to Aaron Nola,
I'm not upset. I'm just telling you. Yeah, when you call him Joe Blanton is when I get offended.
Yeah. He's the 4th starter on this team. He's the 4th best starter on this team. He's the fourth starting.
Well, this roster's legit. This is a great rotation.
I agree. He's perfect for this roster. He's never going to eat into your bullpen. He's going to give you innings. He's going to give you quality starts. He's a good pitcher, Aaron Nola.
That's not Joe Blanton.
But Joe Blanton gave you the same quality starts.
He didn't.
But
Stop.
Joe
in
Blanton,
your mind, in your warped brain's
Joe
mind.
Blanton
That you have. You're using the sander on your brain.
While he's shopping for foot sanders,
oh my God.
he's
Do
crushing
some
data.
brain pelvic exercises. What the frig?
No, I do the opposite of brain pelvic exercises. So it's kind of where I am right now. That's why violations. Greg walks into my studio. He never knows what's going to happen.
It's Pee-wee's Playhouse.
That's why I avoid it. I love you to death.
Bye, buddy. Good weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Go Phils.
Best to the girls.
You didn't stay up for the game last night, did you?
Yeah, I stayed up for the game.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah, I'm a loser. That's what I am.
Good work.
Good to see you. I love John. I do.
Yeah.
I love him to death.
Yeah, he's one quirky dude.
One of the weirdest people. Yeah,
you
I
love
appreciate
it.
weirdness.
Yeah.
He kind of skeeves me out sometimes.
Well, I mean, on days like this, of course. He's skeeving everybody out.
You know what I mean? All right. All for that. We have
K-Red
films.
thinks you need a personal day now.
K-Red, I'm with you. That's happening. I think I'm going to do a Baldy film session next week.
You guys don't bust your feet out and saying stuff while you watch film?
Like my wife, the beauty, the thing for beauty, not Johnny Marks. Like
I don't know what's the worst visual, him sanding them down or walking through the house at night with those Vaseline saran wrapped feet.
All right, that's enough of that. Do we have films, please? I need a leather.
We have films, yes.
God, thank God.
We got him. Here he is.
That is the. You're the antidote.
What are we talking about here?
You're the antidote. Films. All right. Thank you for saving me from Johnny. I appreciate it. I've zeroed in on the 2 guys I think that they're looking at. And it's Nolan and Green are the 2 guys I think strike their fancy. So I'm curious as to what Franny Films thinks about these two players.
I mean, I love Walter Nolan. He was a player that I watched in the fall for the first time. I want to say it was like late October, maybe early November, after the season had kind of progressed. And, this is a former 5-star kid, and I'm watching him, and I'm seeing him win with quickness off the ball.
Yep.
I'm seeing him win with power. I'm seeing him win at the top of the rush with his hands. I'm seeing him chase plays down the field. I'm seeing him make plays against the run, getting off blocks in the SEC. And again, former big-time recruit, started at Texas A&M, was there for 2 years and was fine, but goes to Ole Miss this past year and really took off. And honestly, while I'm watching him, I had gotten through most of the top players in this class, and it's a lackluster group, man. Like I think we've talked about it. It's not great at the top, but when I'm watching Walter Nolan, I'm like, yeah, this guy is a legit top 20 type of pick, and in a class that's starving for blue chip talent. This is the antidote, right? This is exactly what everyone's looking for. Now, he hasn't gotten this level of buzz. I think that there's been like this talk about like the Texas A&M coaching staff like didn't exactly speak glowingly of him leaving.
No,
from what I understand, from what I understand, that was consistent for everybody that left Texas A&M last year. So I think everybody that went out the door, kind of got that same treatment. But look, when I look at Nolan, there were flashes to me of because he's not the same player, but flashes to me of what Jalen Carter did at Georgia. Like he's just, again, a guy that can win in lots of different ways. And so, if they've got access to a player like that at 32, to me, that makes all the sense.
Well, that's the guy they're going to have to trade up for.
Yeah, and that's what, it depends on which mock draft, man, because there are a lot of mock drafts that, we're like, he's going in the teens, and that's kind of where he's ending up. But, I know like Daniel Jeremiah had him falling out of round 1 in numerous mock drafts. Mel Kiper has had him falling out. So people are kind of all over the board with this player. And so I'll be very interested. To me, like I evaluate him as someone that's worthy of going, in the middle stages of round 1, even as early as like 11, 12, I could definitely see that.
I'm going to tell you right now, you're not alone, all right? Like, one of the things, and it was funny, I had this conversation with Kevin Nagandi yesterday. One of the things that why the mocks are never right and why the mocks are a waste of time, but they're fun, so I'm not one to poo-poo the mock. I like the mock. Is teams, if they really like somebody, are never going to tell Daniel Jeremiah. As plugged in as he is and everything, they're keeping that stuff in the building. And it's funny. We had that conversation with Colin McCourt because there's a lot of teams that like him that go, you know what, I like him, and they're trying to push him down for value. Like there's a lot of guys. There's some guys like that, and I'm telling you, people like Nolan.
Yeah. I think that to me, it's worth the talent level. And then honestly, like go down to the Senior Bowl. I thought he was really good in the beginning of the week there. He got dinged up, and most guys have, they get a hangnail down in Mobile. It's like, all right, I'm done. I'll see you guys later. He stuck it out. He was back on the field the next day, and then we go to the combine. By that point, he's like, I don't need to do anything else. Didn't work out at the combine. Didn't work out at the pro day. But then even just going through the numbers, I mean, this guy is just insanely productive on a per snap basis. I've waxed poetic about him on the PHLY Eagles show and on our draft show over the course of the last couple of weeks. This is a player I'm extremely high on. And then going to Mike Green from Marshall, just the quick skinny on him. He comes out of high school as a 3-star athlete recruit. Was kind of seen like, is he a receiver? Is he a linebacker? Is he a tight end? Is he a pass rusher? Goes to Virginia. Redshirts that first year, then he's gone. The coach kind of unceremoniously said, he's not on the team anymore. Transfers to Marshall, didn't play really at all in 2023, barely played, and then burst on the scene this season and was one of the most productive defensive linemen in all of college football. Insane numbers from a sack standpoint, TFLs, and he didn't just do it in the Sun Belt. When they would go up against Virginia Tech, he's got a sack.
Legit.
He goes up to Ohio State, he's got a sack. So truly, shows that he can belong. I like the pass rush plan. A guy that shows that ability to win at the top of the rush in multiple ways. He's incredibly violent, which I love. I love the play personality. He's constantly chasing stuff down. Really, really forceful onto contact. My one area of concern and why I don't have him as high as others in terms of like high first round, middle of first round. Like I think Walter Nolan is a better physical talent. When I look at Mike Green, I can see why. Oh, this is why he was a 3-star recruit and not a 4 or 5-star recruit. Just because he's a little bit smaller, and for a guy at that size, he's not super explosive.
Nah,
and I think he's more like violent and strong than he is naturally powerful. And so for guys at that size, that does give me a little bit of pause. But again, I love the play personality. Honestly, the only hang up with me in round 1 is the off-field stuff, which he talked about openly at the combine. This isn't anything that's whispered about. He openly talked about this at the combine. Basically, 2 allegations with women. One at Marshall, or one at Virginia, one going back to high school. Our listeners, our viewers can go back and watch his combine press conference, and he talked extensively about it. And so every team is going to have to dig into that, and everyone's going to kind of come up with their own conclusions on what to make from it. But I think anytime you have that, that's going to cloud the projection a little bit in terms of where is he going to go off the board.
And Nolan's a defensive tackle?
Yeah.
So is that an area of need? Isn't edge a priority for this team?
They're not going to draft for
edge?
for need. They believe that they need, both another tackle and they need some edge help.
Interesting.
So, to that last point, I mean, nobody's better than the Eagles.
No question.
At coming up with what a guy is like, right? What a guy's really like, and what investigations. It doesn't get better than the Eagles when it comes to that.
Yeah, and that's why. Look, every team, you're going to lean on, and there's nobody that's Big Dom, but every team has their version, and they're going to lean on them. They're going to lean on who's got sources at Virginia, who's got sources at Marshall, who's got who's talked with everyone at the high school, and everyone's going to. That's why everyone has all the same public information.
Yep.
And then it's all right. Who can do the best to unearth everything else that's not privy to the public?
Right. Cops, everything.
Yep.
Like you got to be.
Correct.
You got to be Mr. Wolf, right? You got to be a fixer and understand.
That's it.
Who to talk to get the real skinny. I think what they like about Green is you mentioned it, and I think you nailed it, which is the violence that he plays with. You look at what the Eagles. It's funny. I was having a conversation with somebody this week, and we were talking about one of the reasons why they won is they're a violent team. And they took teams, their mentality was at some point in the game, the other team's going to tap out. That's what their mindset was going in every game. You can't stay with us. You're going to tap out. And it was told. I mean, there was a great story about Derrick Henry that I heard, where Derrick Henry, the Cooper's hit and a couple other ones, he was like, "Damn, you guys are the truth. You guys are relentless. You guys just keep coming and coming and coming." And I think they had that. They especially as the season went on, they viewed that as a badge of honor as who they were.
Yeah, I mean, when you look, you mentioned the Cooper DeJean hit. I think of Nolan Smith and some of the violent collisions we saw with him, taking offensive linemen out of games in the playoffs. And then you go over to the other side, and there was that clip of the clip of Jordan Mailata mic'd up, talking to Washington, saying, "I didn't know what was going to break first, your body or your spirit."
Yes,
right? It's that same mindset on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and which is interesting. And I think they're looking for that profile when they're drafting. They're looking for that profile.
Really quickly, that was one of my notes on Walter Nolan too. Was that he was a guy? It's almost because Jalen Carter is actually this way too. Where let's say you're watching and somebody cuts Walter Nolan. He's coming back for blood on the next play. If someone gives him an extra shove, he's going to get the last shove in. He's one of those guys where don't poke the bear when you're playing Walter Nolan.
Well, and especially could you imagine him next to the ultimate bear?
No,
because Jalen Carter, he's that times 10.
So someone who doesn't, I just am a peripheral guy with this draft stuff, but I look and I see Mike Green, Marshall. You say you've seen enough competition against bigger, better schools. There's enough of a sample size that you think he can compete at a bigger level?
Yeah, I think that, look, they only had two like true blue like Power Four schools on the schedule. He had sacks in both games. He went down to the Senior Bowl and participated the first couple days. There was a clip that went viral. Honestly, VG, if you just Google like Mike Green Senior Bowl, you'll find it. If you do like a Twitter search, you'll find there was a clip where he went up against the Oregon tackle Josh Connerly. He caught him in a bad spot, like it was a bad rep from Connerly. But dude, it was one of the most violent reps I've ever seen in a Senior Bowl one-on-one. He sent him to the shadow realm with a bull rush, like fully horizontal, just like completely knocked the tackle off his feet. But again, like I think that's more the exception than the rule with him as a bull rusher. Like I don't see a consistently powerful guy where he's always going to push the pocket, but he is a very violent player, and that showed up on that rep.
Did you hear what Film said? He sent him to the shadow realm, which is such a great line. Which is, I at some point I want to do a story on these catchphrases that become like football guy. Like I've heard that from certain guys, like scouts and other coaches, like the shadow realm. That becomes a thing, and it gets circulated, and then we parrot it, right? It's so interesting that these phrases come up, but that's a great one, man, and that's a great pull by you. That's why.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a few of those in the bag.
Like when you use that, that's what always had me about you. I go, he's legit. He's legit because that is a phrase that's uttered in rooms.
Yeah,
but
when you have those conversations, you pick up on some of them along the way. Every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut.
No.
Frazier might have that hit he's talking about.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Let's see.
Oh my goodness gracious!
How'd you like to have that?
Oh my goodness gracious!
How'd you like to have that? That's not bad, man. That's not bad. I know you got where you headed. You're going on which show?
Yeah, I've got to deal with something down in Washington. We're talking down Commanders here in a couple minutes.
Oh yeah. All right, I like it. Hey, before you go, tight end watch. Who's your Eagle tight end watch? Who's there for you?
Yeah, I think the two top guys are off the board. I think you're looking at Mason Taylor and Elijah Arroyo would be the two guys when you get into round two. And honestly, like there's been buzz about Mason Taylor at the end of round one. So I think that would be interesting to watch. Is he on the board? Is he? I mean, I don't think
he's going to be on the board. I don't. I don't think they're prepared. I think they're preparing for him not to be on the board.
That would be my guess. I think that he's one that there's been a lot of buzz now about him potentially late in round one. So that'll be one to watch.
Yeah. All right. Listen, break a leg. Talk some trash to Washington, okay? All right.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Films. Appreciate it, buddy. There he is, the Franny Films checking in.
Yeah. So
you like my two guys?
I don't know enough about them, but yeah, I'm good with it. You like them? Franny likes them. Because I looked at this last night.
More importantly, I think they like him.
What do you think about what's the skinny on this Jalen Walker edge guy from Georgia?
Yeah.
Because I saw this last night. The one mock draft called him "Hell on Wheels" front seven defender, which I just like that.
Yeah, it's a great. No, listen, he's typical Georgia kids. I think, put it this way, the apple of their eye is Nolan.
Okay.
All right, I think that's their quest. And I think number 2 is Green.
Okay.
All right. So they're that's what I believe.
All right.
Let's take care of some business, and then we're going to go to the brain. How'd you do yesterday?
I stink. I got to go get some oil. I need to do something. I got to get.
Really?
I got to sage myself. I don't think my head's right after losing to him in the tournament of March Madness. My head's not right. I got to sage myself tonight, this weekend, and come back Monday strong.
Now, how do you sage yourself? Is that like Johnny Marks?
Yeah, I mean it's weird. Like you get a shrub of sage, you light it up, and you just you do it from from foot up to your head. So all
So
the
you stand
negative
over
stuff.
the flame.
No, it's a
stick.
smoker. It's a
Yeah.
smoke. It's
Yeah.
almost like
It's like a sage stick. It's like a big bundle.
Okay. It
just
and you light it,
smokes.
and then
Like
you kind
incense
of
type of thing?
Yeah,
and
but
then you
it's a-
kind of cover yourself in the smoke.
Yeah, the smoke
right.
is supposed to remove all the negative ions and stuff from you, cleanse you. It's like a Native American ritual.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm down. Where do you get the sage at?
Oh, that's all. I'll get you. I'll get
I
you.
can
Some.
get
I'll
you-
come Monday. I'll get you a
give
shrub
me
of sage.
I want to do it.
Yeah,
All right. I want
yeah.
to do the. I feel like I need it.
Yeah, and like as it's going, the smoke's going around, you could just say something like, "I cleanse my body of all negative
I'm
energy."
down. I'm going to do it. I feel like there's.
I feel like you got a little funk. I don't know if it's the weather. Or,
I don't know. Yeah, today, a couple of days this week.
yeah.
When I was in a mood when I was younger, my mom would do it, and in 5 minutes I was like, all right, yeah, I'm calm, I'm collected, I'm relaxed. It's nice.
It's
Yeah,
nice.
I got angst.
It smells good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just angst.
Like,
You know, I
life-
got projects, everything.
life
There's
is
a million,
stressful, man.
There's a million things out in the ethos.
Yeah.
And nothing happens.
You got to hang out with my side.
And
a
like it
little bit.
just moves too slow. I need to move fast. I need things to happen.
Yeah. Come to my side.
With the gummy side?
Yeah, we'll relax a little bit.
I can't relax.
Watch Nola pitch the gem tonight. We'll relax.
Can't relax.
Because you have 7,000 calories or milligrams of caffeine going through you, man.
Yeah, I can't relax.
You can't even sit down.
I don't sleep. I probably sleep 3 hours a night.
Yeah, I'm worried about your sleep schedule. Me and the Peg can talk about your sleep schedule. We're worried about it. When she hears you on the morning at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning,
Oh yeah, I'm working nonstop.
working.
I get up at 3 to write.
it's
I
not
go
great.
to bed after the games, the late West Coast game.
Yeah, you got to talk to a healer. You got to start working with somebody. Balance all that out. You got to balance it out a little
And
bit.
in between is youth sports.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how you do it, man.
Yeah, you got to get saged.
You just got a good multivitamin.
We'll hit him with a blue sage. Really get him going.
Well, I try to get my shots every Friday.
Yeah,
They keep me going.
you might need them 3 days a week.
I get my
Timeline 5 days a week.
I get my bionic shots. You guys take me every week. I go to Forever Young and they shoot me up.
Yeah,
and
I mean, you look good.
And it lasts
You
me
look
for
young.
well. It gives me the
Juice for the weekend.
yeah, it's the juice.
It's your own little pelvic
That's
floor
my
exercise.
it's my science. It's a shot in the butt. All right, buddy.
I want to talk about let's talk about sunglasses. I love sunglasses. I got to protect the eyes. Protect the eyes. So while it's rainy and chilly and kind of drab, let's start thinking about spring and summer and sun. Our friends at Shady Rays helping us get in the right frame of mind with their premium polarized shades that won't break your bank. Shady Rays, if you don't know, they're an independent sunglasses not owned by a big conglomerate, and they offer a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their sunglasses, they got durable frames, crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all your outdoor activities, even activity as simple as driving. With so many colors, you'll find a pair that's perfect for you. You can even get them in your own team colors if you want. And check this out, if your shades ever go missing or take an unexpected hit, you don't got to sweat it because they have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by their lost or stolen replacement program. And if you don't like your shades, you can just exchange them. You got 30 days, worry-free. There's no risk when you shop. Their team's always got your back. So, PHLY viewers and listeners, go to ShadyRays.com and save 35% off their polarized sunglasses with the code PHLY. Over 300,000 people, can't be wrong, and they've rated Shady Rays 5 stars. So use the code PHLY today at ShadyRays.com.
There you go. Hey, let's talk about Timeline. That's the other one of my tricks. Timeline sells health longevity supplements featuring their proprietary Mito Pure ingredient. Now, Mito Pure works in the cells in your body to help reverse age-related decline. The benefits include increased strength, energy, endurance. They've done 15-plus years of research, secured 30-plus U.S. patents for their products. Now, what happens is the Mito Pure is a postbiotic nutrient that clears out dysfunctional mitochondria, a.k.a. your cell's battery packs. Now, I know it's a lot of science for you, all right? But you're going to see and feel the difference when it comes to improved energy levels, better workouts, faster recovery, more endurance, and you'll be ready to go.
Endurance
go.
is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Treat your cells right. I live with a cell nerd. Cells are important.
Yeah. Get ready to be your best, most energized, most revitalized you. Timeline give you 10% off your order of Mito Pure right now. Go to timeline.com/PHLY. That's timeline.com/PHLY, and you get 10% off of your Mito Pure. All right. joining us. Thanks to our friends from the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Here it is, the Brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
There he is, La Brain. You stay up
I
for
need
the
to
Phillies?
be Sage too.
You too?
I need to be Sage too. Yeah, it was not a good day. Not a good day for VJ for me either. We had lost my games by a half, which are I can't stand. Bassett had 5 strikeouts, only threw like 55 pitches. They took him out.
Why? I saw they gave him an early hook.
I have no idea. And Ober, 6 innings, no runs, pitching a gem. 4 strikeouts, 70 pitches, winning 1-0. They take him out. Of course, they give up 3 runs. The 7th inning, they take him out. So I don't get home on those bets. It is what it is. But
And I saw your. I watched, like, I look at the box score, and I think if you're on it, I'll root for you. The who was it? Edie, my boy Edie.
9 rebounds. I had over 9.5. It closed to 11.5.
I thought when you said over 9.5, like that would be easy. I know he got in foul trouble, but he still played 30 minutes.
He got in big foul trouble.
It's
funny. He got 3 fouls right away. Then he got his 4th foul 30 seconds into the third quarter. So he basically sat the next 10 minutes. He had 9. Like he got 9 rebounds. I mean,
that's the most unlucky thing. Like you would have no foul trouble. He gets that. He gets 15.
But that's part of him. In fairness, Anthony, that's part of Zach Edey. In fairness, like that is part of the risk that he is a guy that does get in foul trouble.
Yeah.
So listen, anytime you take an over, there's a lot of more ways to get there when you take an under, right? You can just win the bet on its own merits. You can win based on foul trouble.
Injuries.
You can win versus a blowout factor. So when you take an over, there's always more variables that can go against you, like foul trouble.
Yeah.
That hit me last night. It is what it is, worse things, but hopefully we got some stuff today.
What'd you do last night? Did you get a goose egg last night like me, Brad?
Got a goose egg.
All right. I'm only one behind him.
Yeah, horrible. Listen.
Wow, you guys are. You're 0 for 6.
Just brutal.
He's 1 and 5.
And he's 1 and 5.
1 and 4. 1 4 and 1 game got rained out. But
that's right.
Horrible.
Yeah.
No excuses. But I'll get it back.
That's the attitude. That's the attitude.
Well, you always listen. He does it over the long haul. He's not
I'm gonna get it back.
He's a 365 guy.
Yeah, I'm a 365 guy.
Let me before we get into that stuff. It's a great weekend because it is the weekend to celebrate. Do you know why?
Pink full moon.
Celebrating.
No, there's a big full moon this week.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Now, it's the end of the NBA season.
Oh, yeah.
Man, pop the champagne.
Finally.
It's finally here.
Yeah.
In fact, I want to have a Sixers party on Monday.
Let's do it.
All right? Like,
Let's
it's
go.
finally
Oh,
over.
man, we don't have to pay
I
attention.
don't have to think about Downton, Abby. I don't have
Happy.
Maurice
Who's the other
Jones
guy?
Drew.
Who's the guy, the goalie we keep calling him? I forget that guy's name.
Get the freak out of here.
Bob Froze?
I love Bob Froze. Wow, number 35. Bob Froze.
In our playbooks, number 1 in our heart.
No more Delaware. The 89ers. We're done. All right. Thank God. I can't do the G League. I hate the G League.
Oh, it's Alex Reese. That's the guy. Alex
Jeff Reese.
Steaks and
By the
champagne
way,
on Monday.
Do you guys see what the Utah Jazz do every single night? They rest all their healthy players every single night. This league has gotten to be such a disgrace.
It's horrible.
Again, I hope they go out of business.
They treat Walker
I can't stand
Kessler.
them.
They treat Walker Kessler like he's Akeem Olajuwon.
Dude, it is such a, as I said, say what you want to say. I think he was arguably the best commissioner ever in a lot of ways. If David Stern was still alive,
he's the best.
I know he was
Yeah.
a tough man, tough guy, but there is no way ever he would allow this league to say we're going to blank on every fan.
Yeah.
Just we don't care about anyone.
No.
We're just going to ruin our league, and we're just going to what are you going to do? I mean, he would never allow this to happen.
That's
It's
Nosferatu,
just-
man. He sucks the blood out of the league.
Yeah. It's like a zombie now.
He's the worst. He stinks.
Yeah, I can't-
And you know what? He walks around like he's the savior. Like, Get the hell out of here, Nosferatu. Commissioner Nosferatu. Oh.
Ruin the league for me. I used to love the NBA. Now I can't stand it.
I know. It sucks. It's a shame.
It's got to make it almost impossible.
And even the playoffs, I go, who am I looking forward to watching in the East? I mean, I'm going to throw up watching Boston win again. Is there anything that, you're going to root for Cleveland, okay? What else?
I'm going to root for Cleveland.
Who's any good? The Knicks aren't any good. The Knicks can't win.
Knicks can't win. No, it's going to be Boston. Boston's going to go to the finals.
Is there anybody that could actually beat them?
I don't think so.
Other than Cleveland.
I had a big future, Anthony, before the year. I actually did make a big future on Cleveland at like 25-1 to reach the finals. And I hedged that play by just taking Boston and Boston only. I laid like -125 with Boston in the East. And I will double dare, triple dare, quadruple dare anyone to beat me. Besides, if it's not Boston or Cleveland, I'll just take my medicine. But Boston's going to go to the finals. I feel very confident on that. I think, by the way, I think that merits a bet. That you can bet that on the bet parks. I think they're minus $1.40-ish, something like that. I really do think Boston is going to go to the finals. I would be very surprised. As good as Cleveland's been this year, I just think Boston's the best team, and they've been waiting just to be healthy for the playoffs, which they are. I absolutely think Boston's going to go to the finals and probably win it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. West, you got some talent, but I don't know. I mean, I'm with you.
Well, I'll be praying for
what happened to OKC? They've been in a little bit of a funk.
Yeah, well, I have OKC at nice odds to go to the finals, but the craziest thing, they're not going to win it. But I mean, Houston was my all-in team this year, and I have them at like, I think 200-1 to win the title. They're not going to, obviously, but
you never know. Jalen Green, baby,
it's not bad. What's that?
Jalen Green.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. If you look at teams 2 through 8 in the West, go quickly, guys. 2 through 8 in the West. When I say you can barely not even separate any of them, besides Memphis, who looks like they're trash now, but Minnesota, Clippers, Lakers, Denver, Houston. I mean, they're all like if they're playing each other,
Minnesota,
it's like, who's going to win? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're all about the same. But it's going to be probably, I think, OKC against Boston. But I do think the Lakers and the Clippers would probably be those two would probably be my next two choices, the two LA teams, if I would think someone would upset OKC. The Clippers, by the way, I think are 16-3, and I think their last 19.
No, listen, they're good. Harden's playing good ball, and Kawhi. If that freaking beard wins,
first time he's healthy,
he'll choke in the playoffs like he always does. There's always one game that he'll come up small. Ben
Simmons, big shot coming up for them, right?
Unbelievable.
He's still in the league?
Simmons and Harden, baby.
Yeah. They're on the same team.
Oh, my God.
No, that's our hell.
Oh, my God.
That's our hell. And then you see, the hell would be...
They have a chance, actually.
Nosferatu giving the NBA trophy to James Harden and Ben Simmons. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
That's a monster. That's a nightmare.
Is he a top 10? Is he as hated as JD Drew, Anthony and VJ, or no?
Who?
Ben Simmons?
As
much as JD
Drew looked like
nothing. Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew, right? That was exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding me? He's way better.
I think I almost want them to win now, just to stick it to the Sixers franchise.
Yeah, but stick it to us, though.
Yeah, but we got to.
You guys got to come up with a top 10 most hated list.
I'm sure we've done that.
I don't use the word hate. Top 10 disliked list.
Sports hate's fine. People will get, it's pretty hate. No, it's sports hate. Like, that's a real thing.
Yeah, fair point. Ben Simmons, top 10?
Yes.
Top 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
For me, yes.
Yeah, for everybody.
Who's number one then? I'm sorry. Who
now,
comes to your mind,
active?
number one?
Like current?
All time.
Oh, all time.
Most hated.
Most hated all time.
Who played for Philly?
Right.
I'm talking about who played for Philly, not like Bill Lambier or something like that.
I
know what you
loathe
mean.
Carson Wentz. I hate him.
Really?
Yeah. I hate his hunting stuff, his nonsense.
Number one?
For me, he's pretty strong for me.
But he's on the 10.
He's up there. He's up there.
He's in the 10. Yeah, he's in the 10. I got to think about it.
Al Horford is up there.
Yeah, Al.
Eddie Wright China.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That was a great one, Al Horford.
Yeah.
Now, there is a lot of Philly junk wax saying, Cutter Gauthier. There is a lot of that.
Yeah.
He got his 20th goal yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 20 goals?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they
I
play no
didn't know
defense.
that. That's
but
impressive.
Ducks.
Yeah. I didn't.
Okay, Commissioner. Thank you.
It's tremendous. That looked like me after they pulled Bailey over.
What do we got this weekend? We got no basketball, no Final Four.
Masters.
Yeah, you
Oh, that's right.
you gotta
Yeah.
hop
Day
on
two
the
today.
Masters.
Masters.
Yeah.
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 By the way,
I watched a little bit yesterday. What's that?
I made one bet. I bet, and I like the Masters. I love watching it, but I
Yeah, me
bet
too.
one thing. I'm like, all right, the whole Rory thing. I told I'm never going to bet a guy ever to win again because it's impossible. I'm like, all right, I was between Rory and Scheffler, Sky Scheffler top 10. I'm like, I'm going to bet Rory top 10. The juice was only $1.25 top 10. Like, he's not going to win. Always find a way to lose, but he'll come in the top 10. So I see him -4 in second place in like the 16th hole. I'm like, great. He'll be in second or first going into round 2. And he goes double bogey, double bogey.
I know.
Right in the drink.
I know.
Unforced error.
How about
it was an unforced error too. Saw it.
Morikawa's same thing.
He hit the pin.
Yeah.
Right in the water.
Yeah.
That was Matsusama. Hideki.
Oh yeah. Hideki,
No, but
yeah,
Morikawa.
Yeah, that was
Oh
unlucky.
yeah.
Morikawa was rolling, and he fell
Yeah.
off the cliff too. Yeah, but Rory,
Yeah, golf's hard.
You're going to win that. Rory's going to be top 10.
I think so.
Like,
top 10, yeah.
Because even if he's got no chance to win, he'll play.
He'll have a great round on Sunday, and I'll shoot like a 65 when he's 12 shots back.
Exactly.
Keep an eye on my boy Akshay. He's tied for 7th right now.
Yeah,
-2.
Batia, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how did Don Henley do last night?
Terrible. I think he may be next to last. I think he's +7.
Don
He was singing
Henley's
like
hung.
William Hung.
Yeah.
My God, just terrible. All right, boys.
All right, we got to lace him up again today.
Lace them up. Going into today, the Trash Man 0-6.
I still got the Bastia hanging out there. That's
Right.
a 10-to-1er.
And the Brain 1-4.
Yeah, we're
Horrible.
on fire.
Horrible, but I'm going to
turn it around
right
today.
this ship.
Yeah.
This ship will be righted.
Okay, what's your
Why
first
don't you
pick?
start off the festivities?
Okay.
All right.
Start
Switch it
off
around.
with
You got
both
honors.
rounds.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to do an under in baseball. The Cubs Dodgers with Yamamoto and Boyd on the mounds. Under 7.5.
All right. Under Cubs,
Actually agree with
Dodgers,
that.
7.5.
Well, you know what's funny? I'm going to stick in that same game, my friend, and I'm going to go Matthew Boyd, pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. We're going to go over 4.5 strikeouts. 9-1, averaging 6 his last 10 starts. Dodgers strike out in the bottom third of strikeouts. Great lineup, but they actually strike out. Give me Boyd, who's 9-1 over 4.5 strikeouts. I think it should have absolutely been 5.5.
All right.
That's a good pick.
I'm going to go to the
Because
great-
Dodgers strike out.
They do. For as good as they are, they
Yeah.
strike out.
I'm going to Sacramento, I think. Is that where the A's play?
Yeah, Sacramento.
Yeah. I'm going to grab the over in this game. Mets A's over 9.5.
Well,
I think every
ball
game has
flies.
gone over in Sacramento except one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the ball,
Yeah,
the ball.
that
There's no
stadium's
depth.
been,
It's a little league fence.
It is. It is. It's like that Cal Ripken Stadium you guys were at, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No fence.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna. You know what's funny, guys? Oh, it's funny. The Phillies game last night was disappointing. They got out of the bottom of the 10th. I was like, oh, I was really rooting for them yesterday. It was a tough loss, but and Joe Ross had actually been pitching well. I was like, maybe he'll get through it, but didn't happen. But I always wonder about this stuff, guys. What do you think about this travel spot? There was the only night game, because usually Thursday's getaway day, right?
Right.
You want to get out because you have the next day you travel. It was the only night game. Game goes to rain delayed 2.5 hours or 2 hours, whatever the heck it was. Game ends at 1 in the morning. One of my favorite pitchers is Taj Bradley. I think Bryce Elder stinks. I took Tampa Bay in the 5-inning line. I laid $1.18-ish. I think right now it's still around $1.20-ish or so. I took Taj Bradley and Tampa Bay in the 5-inning line against Atlanta, because I'm like, you know what? Maybe Atlanta rests a couple of their good hitters since they're tired. I like Bradley better anyway as a starter, so I'll take my chance.
Yeah, I think you're good in that. Like, the rest thing, you know when it catches up to you? When you have a day game on Saturday. Like, if you play late, travel, you get into
That's
it. And
right.
again, Atlanta to Tampa is nothing, right? So it's not a big deal. But, if the Saturday thing wears on you, because if you're late, then you got to get ready, you leave, you bang around the hotel Friday, but then Saturday you got to get up again and your body hits you. So Saturday day
Yeah.
game would be the day it gets you. At least from covering the team, I kind of.
Yeah, no, man, you know, you get it. Absolutely.
I'm gonna go. I'm doing another under. Padres Rockies.
Ew.
Under 7.5. Pavetta's on the mound. I don't think the Rockies put up more than a run here. I don't know if the Padres put up 6, but under 7.5 in that one.
You got 2 unders. I don't think I've ever heard you talk under in your life.
I gotta change stuff up, man. I gotta
me
go
tell you something.
Costanza
You're
and
like
do the
Costanza.
opposite. Yeah, I gotta do the opposite.
He's going to win. I'm just telling you, for everyone watching, take this what it's worth. Sometimes you talk about life. You get these feels. You just know VG's going to win the day. You should bet this stuff.
He's going to go.
You should. I hope you're betting your stuff. You're going to win the day. Because actually, I agree with that Colorado play 100%. Colorado's going to score a 0, 1, or 2, and Marquez isn't bad.
No, he gives up
He's
like
not bad at
2-3 earned runs a game.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 3-1 game. It's 4-1, 3-2. It's going to be. You're going to win the day. You should bet your stuff today. Everyone watching, bet VG stuff that he's going to win. I'm going to win too.
Nice.
I'm going to go NBA. Giannis. Look, this game is actually important in my opinion. Now, it's interesting thing, guys. They're playing for the 4th seed, them in Detroit. So like this is, an important game to me because first of all, I want to play. I want to be in the Cleveland bracket. I want to get home. I want to play. If they get, I'm sorry, this is for the 5 seed. For the 5 seed, I want to play in that Cleveland bracket and not have to play in the Boston half of the bracket. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a big game for both teams. Detroit needs to win both games back to back. They play the Bucks twice in a row. Milwaukee needs to split. Giannis 10.5 rebounds. He averages 12.5. He's 49 and 18 to over 10.5. I'm taking over 10.5. Probably my favorite bet of the day.
Yeah, I can see that because he's going to get minutes. And if he gets minutes, he's going to board.
They need to win one of these 2 games.
Yeah.
So, I just think that he gets 11 rebounds.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like that. Your boy Edie playing tonight?
I bet over 9.5 rebounds again. It's up to 10.5.
Who they got?
And I bet over 9.5 points. It's up to 11.5. No, because again, now he's going against Jokic tonight, so he can have 4 fouls by the time I have my first sip of whatever. But I did it. I'm a glutton for punishment. I did it, but I wasn't going to be one of the ones I gave out on the show because the lines moved and it wasn't one of my favorite ones anyway.
Yeah,
but I do have 2 more, by the way.
Okay, what do you got?
Did you get any more?
No, I'm good. Yep.
I'm going to stick in. It's funny in the Clippers game, guys. Norman Powell. Clippers, by the way, again, 16-3, their last 19. They're playing well, as I said. Norman Powell was 16.5 at the open, but 17.5. I still like it. He's 42 and 16. He's been getting his minutes again against Sacramento. I think he gets home. I do. He's getting big minutes. I see no reason why he will not score 18. And then Jane Harden, as my wonderful producer at NBC used to call James Harden, Jane Harden. He plays. I think James Harden will not get 24.5 points. I took under. He's 55 and 22 to that under. Full cast of characters, right? We have everyone playing. Should be Kawhi Leonard, Ubats. 25 is a big number again. He's been going under. 55 is 77. That'll be my 5th and final play of the day.
You should couple that with assists. With his dimes.
Yeah, well, I think he should get his assist against Sacramento.
Yeah.
I looked at that, didn't quite get there, but he should go over. I think it's 8.5. He should go over 8.5.
Yeah,
assists.
there you go. There you go. I like it. All right. What do we got watching?
Who's going to win the Masters? Who's going to win?
Scotty's winning. Come on. Scotty's the man. Like, Scotty's just...
You rooting for him? Do you have a golfer you guys root for?
I was always a half a Rory fan. I mean, I like Rory. I don't like. I don't dislike Scotty. I like Scotty. Scotty's awesome.
No, how could you dislike him? He's not a guy to dislike.
No, exactly. You know why I hate? I hate Rose.
Yeah, I don't need him.
I don't like him.
I always rooted against him. He's probably a decent guy, but I always rooted against him.
Yeah,
he's killing it right now.
Never rooted for him once.
I know. I hate him.
-7 leading the board.
I know. That's why I brought him up.
Yeah.
I've never rooted for Justin Rose in one tournament in his career.
Yeah.
I think DeChambeau's going to win.
I don't know why.
You like Peebo, huh? You like DeChambeau.
He looked real sharp yesterday.
He did look good.
I love DeChambeau.
The lift guy.
DeChambeau.
By the way, Sergio looks good.
What did he shoot yesterday?
1 under. I think.
You know what's funny? Because I was thinking of taking him like as a top 10 guy. Because it's a predictable course. He's been in good form, and he's played well at the Masters. Look, you saw
and he's
covering
actually
with Fred Couples last night.
He's
guys.
actually
Did you see the
playing.
Fred Couples.
He's been playing really well in the Live Tour. I was reading about it going into this tournament, Sergio.
Let's see.
Did you see Fred Couples yesterday, guys? 65 years old, 1 under.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's
It's
insane.
the one tournament in the world where you get to see that stuff because these guys know the course inside and out. He's played it a zillion times. He knows all the nuances, and I just love the fact that he did that. It made it just. And Fred Couples always plays well. Bernard Langer usually plays well. These guys, even at 65 years old, usually still play okay because of their course knowledge, which I think is a wonderful thing to watch.
What happened to your boy Sepp Straka?
Stinks. Had a bad day.
He stinks.
Had a bad day.
You were all touting him. He blows.
Man. Me and Jamie were all over him.
You and the bro. He stinks. Sergio is plus 360 for a top 10.
Me and bro like Wyndham Clark too. He had a rough day.
He's a shot, man.
Yeah, he did. Wyndham
He's
Clark.
got a good shot at that. That's a good number, bro.
Sergio's good.
You know?
Yeah, he's playing well. Again, do not underestimate, guys. This is the one predictable course in all of golf. There's not a second one. There really is not a true second. This is the one course where if you play well, usually you play well every year. Sergio knows this course. And obviously, he's played it for 25 years. He's a veteran. He's tough. He's tough-mettled. Ryder Cup guy. I think Sergio absolutely will do well. He was the other guy I came very close to.
So let me ask you a question. So Sergio right now, end of round top 10 today, he's plus 600.
What place is he in?
I don't know, but end of round top 10. Does that mean just in how you shoot today, or is the end of round top 10 today?
No, the end of round 2. I guess no, the end of round 2. So like however he is after today. Let me see what place he's. I'll bring it up real quick, guys.
I think
Sergio
he's got to be 29 if he's -1 because I think par is 30.
Yeah, so he needs to be at what price do you need to get at? He goes 1, 2, 3.
Sergio is in 35th place right now.
He just needs to get to 2 under, right?
He's plus one.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, he's plus 1.
He's plus 1.
Okay. Par's 30 right now.
I saw he was 1 under forever, and he's plus 1 now.
Yeah.
What's the? Does it matter morning or afternoon tee off?
Oh yeah, it's how the grass lays.
Well, it always.
I know,
Yeah,
but like,
always,
but which is what?
Well, no, you don't know. You got to look at the weather. Like,
did it
sometimes
rain overnight?
It matters a lot, Anthony.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm at. But I'm asking you, in this case, what does it matter? Like, what's the advantage?
Some of the afternoon guys were having a little difficulty yesterday just because the greens were hard, so the ball was
Sergio's
bouncing.
even, by the way. He's in 23rd place.
Well, I mean, he's
I'm looking right now.
he
So
bogeyed the second hole.
Look,
today,
I'll be
I
honest.
think.
6-1 odds. I think I have no problem with that. 6-1. He just needs to have a good round.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not crazy. That's nothing
I like
crazy.
Sergio. I was always a Sergio guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of
He's a
Sergio.
good player. He won for me. No, he had a good
Good
one for me.
Spaniard.
I had him. And
Spaniard.
He beat Justin Rose in the playoff. I had him. He beat
Oh,
Justin
did
Rose in
you?
the playoff.
Oh, that's awesome.
No, he's tied for 23rd.
Yeah, so he
I know. I just said
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Thanks for
Okay.
listening. Yeah.
He's a shot.
Sorry,
really
I was looking
a
down the list.
This guy's always paying attention.
Unlike
I know.
Sepp Straka.
Hey, Brain, what do you think about
contend.
what do you think about the amateur showing up with the upside down logo hat and then taking a
Leak.
whiz in the creek?
Creek.
It's creek in my
Can't
creek
do
in my
that stuff at
neighborhood.
the Masters.
You can't. You
Can't
gotta wear
do
a
that
hat with a
stuff.
right
Did you
side
see what he
logo.
did? He peed in the creek. You know that?
Like for real?
Yes.
I read some. I
He
didn't know that was a joke.
urinated. He urinated in the creek.
He whipped it out, wet in the creek.
He thought he was.
he did.
Yes,
Yes,
he
he
did.
did.
Yeah, there's a whole video. We have the video.
Yeah,
Is he
yes.
kicked off the course?
He
He should have been arrested whipping it out like
especially
that.
the way the
Did-
Masters.
did-
I
did he
can't
get-
hear
did-
Baldy's
did they
take on this.
And he's an amateur.
No, but did he get suspended? Did they kick him out?
No. I can't hear Baldy's
there
take
was
on
a
this.
telling me
there was a bathroom like
He
right
did it
near
right
the
in
tee
front of
box.
the public?
He went to a little area.
No, he went to an area. He thought he was good.
But he said a couple people saw him. He's
Oh,
like,
we've all done it.
I
Come
do
on.
it again. I haven't done it. I haven't done it in Augusta.
He's not there, but
I
we've
mean,
done
you
it.
didn't pee in that. What's the name
Not
of
yet, DJ.
What's the
Not
name of the
yet.
creek?
Not yet.
Saccone Creek?
No, it's
I've
a
been in
big
that one.
it's a big creek. It's
Yeah,
a
I don't know
name.
the name of it.
It's a name. It's a famous creek on the course. You can't yell at that creek.
Raise Creek. Rays Creek.
Rays Creek. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's Rays Creek. Yes, Brain knows.
Just the cojones. This amateur. His hat's got Sun Devils upside down.
Yeah.
Which is kind of disrespectful. I love this guy.
I mean, you don't do that stuff
I love
in
this
golf.
guy.
I wonder what Baldy's going to say about that. I like it.
The boy's going to say, if you got to go, you got to go. It's part of
What was
nature.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, what was that show called with Eugene Levy? Something Creek? Or am I?
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek.
Something Creek.
Schitt's Creek.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're just trying to get us to say that
yeah.
word, Brain? Come on.
Yeah.
No. I was thinking like the beer Schlitz, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is that
No.
what-
Yeah.
I know. No.
Yeah, it was a play off of that. Schitt's Creek. Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife likes that show.
Maybe he did
Yeah.
that in that
Yeah, it's
show.
funny.
All right, Brain. Have a
All right, well, listen.
a great weekend, buddy.
Well, hopefully, hopefully we have a good day. VG, you're going to win the day.
I feel good today.
Bet
Thanks.
your stuff today.
All right.
I'm going to bet your stuff today.
Perfect.
Oh, that's good. It's good.
You're gonna win.
He's a good opponent.
Oh, he's too nice.
He's good people.
I love VG. VG is one of the nicest people I've met. Really
Well,
is a good,
takes one to
really
know
good
one.
Dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, very great dude.
Thank you, my brother. Have a good weekend,
Appreciate
buddy.
both you guys.
All right, here he
Okay,
is,
guys.
Le Brain, joining us. Thanks to our friends at the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Let's talk about him, shall we? Because whether it's the Masters or the fighting Phillies, who's pitching tonight?
Nola.
For St. Louis.
Palante?
Palante, that's it. I like the Nola pitches well in St. Louis.
Nola pitches well.
I know.
He's like the 24th rated. No matter what metric you do, he comes in like 24th in all of baseball last year.
I
pitching.
know. I don't know Johnny
He got
Marks.
30
Johnny,
teams. He's the 24th best pitcher.
Johnny Marks. Oh, my.
He's out of his mind.
Out of his mind.
That show is like
Psycho. Ask Baldy if Baldy would do
if he shaves his
his ankles, his key, whatever it is. His
I don't know if he
heels.
does his
Baldy
pelvic.
is in the green room right now,
Ask
so you
Baldy
can't
if
hear
he does
this.
the pelvic floor exercises, his Kegel exercises.
Yeah, I listen. I wouldn't even bring that up to Baldy.
I'll bring it up to him.
I would never bring that up to Baldy. First of all, it skeeves me out, and I don't want. That's stuff that we would not discuss.
No, I didn't.
First of all, I would never. I don't even know what it is.
Why would you bring the power sander to work?
In case he's got to,
What
sand
is
some
that?
off.
He's a freak. He's a stone freak. You could bet on him though, probably. On the Bet Park Sportsbook online app. Check it out again. Fighting Phillies. All the stuff that we have right here that the Brain and VG gave you, you can bet on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. And don't forget the casino. There's always another way to win on the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Yes, live dealer blackjack, roulette, craps, you name it. All right? You got it right there on. You have all the thousands of slots, right? You got Peaky Blinders slots and what do you got? The armadillo?
Absolutely. Mammoth is a good one with the
the
woolly
armadillo?
mammoth. And we
Yeah.
got Artie, the armadillo.
All that stuff. Rocky slots. I mean, it's all there. So check it out. New customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. BetParks.com has all the details. Got to be 21. You got to be PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, people. It's Financial Literacy Month, and we've got something that's going to help you off the field, teaching your kids how to handle their money, because there's not many things more important than that as an adult. Have good money skills. So if you're a TrueMark Financial member, you've got a fantastic opportunity to help your kids and teens learn to earn, save, and spend wisely with this cool free Greenlight account. Now, it's not just any app, this Greenlight. It's a game changer for your kids. Whether they're setting savings goals, learning how to track their spending, or even getting their allowance, it all happens right there in the apps, right there at their fingertips. And get this, each kid gets their own debit card. Super cool. So they can make their own purchases, learn how to budget, build real-world money skills, and you stay in control of it all from your phone so they can't get crazy. You get a peace of mind. They get a chance to make some smart, responsible choices with their money. So if you're looking for a way to teach your kids some financial plays this in Financial Literacy Month, we can't recommend this enough. It's like training for life's biggest game. So head over to TrueMark.com/Greenlight to get all the details and sign up today. Don't miss a chance to set your kids up for financial success. TrueMark.com/Greenlight.
This portion of the show brought to you by Rite Aid, RiteAid.com/PHLY. For the nearest pharmacy and store by you. Now joining us, the one, the only, the legend, Baldy.
Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football.
Oh, Baldy. There he is, the legend. There he
Morning, cuz.
Good morning, brother. I will not bring up John Marks and his weirdness to you.
What did Johnny Marks bring up? I missed that.
Yeah, you don't want to know. If you want to tell him, I don't want to.
Apparently, he's got an issue with dead skin on his heels and big toe. So he brought in like a little handheld power belt sander that he uses on his feet and his toes to sand off his dead skin.
Yeah, but everybody knows that all you need is a razor. You just shave it. The skin comes right off.
Yeah, you just take a razor blade to it?
Yeah, just take a razor blade and just shave it. Like we used to do that with calluses. You know, when you get calluses in training camp, just get in the training room, grab a razor, and just shave it. The skin comes right off.
I mean, that's normal. You get calluses in training camp. Johnny Marks just sits on the couch. He's got this issue going on.
You want to tell him about his pelvic thrusts?
Oh, yeah. You ever hear, Paul, do you ever hear about Kegel exercises for men?
Well, I don't know what Kegel is.
So there's it's like a pelvic floor thrust. He's got a weak pelvic floor, he says, because he has to urinate 3 times a night. So he's doing these pelvic thrust Kegel exercises
I know in the barn over
pelvic
in Johnson's house, they have one of those machines, a pelvic thrust machine. They're becoming more popular. But I know like that's a big that was a handmade device in the barn that we used to use, but I didn't know it was because, you know, you had to, you know,
a week
run to the bathroom at night.
Yeah, it's supposed to strengthen it up. He says it gives you endurance as well.
I love the way Baldy said it. I didn't know it's because you got to run to the bathroom at night.
Baldy, when he's running to the bathroom, before he got the shaver, he was putting Vaseline on his feet, wrapping them in saran wrap, then putting socks on it and sleeping all night and running to the bathroom in the middle of the night with his feet like that.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you do after you get frostbite, you know, if you're trapped in the iditarod on the Yukon.
Yeah, I don't think Johnny Marks
frostbite, and that's something you would do to prevent it. Maybe.
Could you see Johnny Marks in the Iditarod?
I can't see Johnny Marks in the same room with Baldy.
Me and Johnny did a show together for years.
Yeah.
It was fine. I didn't know he had a lot of these quirks.
Yeah. He's got a lot, man.
Your final thoughts, and before we get to football, on the amateur at the Masters taking a whiz in Rays Creek, the famous creek at Augusta.
Probably not the right spot to do it. I mean, everybody's taken a leak on a golf course before, but you probably don't need to do it at the Masters during Masters week with all the cameras and everybody that's out there. But I mean, who hasn't taken a whiz at a golf course before?
Right.
I mean, just park it behind the tree and go. I mean, it's just that simple.
I mean, if it's Jaws' course,
Sure.
If it's Augusta, nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you just have to kind of know your course. Yeah, I mean, Jaws has 9 courses, maybe 10 now, but I've probably taken a leak on every one of them at some point. You know?
And it's fascinating because he was an amateur. He's an amateur who did this.
All right, let's get to football because I want your opinion on 2 players. I believe that the Eagles' first-round pick will be one of these 2 players.
All right.
Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss.
Yeah, he's probably the second highest rated defensive tackle in this whole thing right now, behind Mason Graham. I had people. The Mississippi had. He went to Ole Miss. Mississippi had their pro day the same day that Penn State had theirs. So 2 weeks ago today, they had their pro day. So you know, Jackson Dart, the quarterback, Jared Ivey, defensive end, Walter Nolan, the whole defense line, honestly. And I heard his stock started to shoot up from there. Now, I was at a facility on Wednesday and asked a leading personnel individual on this particular team about Walter Nolan, and they're like, I hope the stuff doesn't come out. Yeah. You know, like there's stuff there. Like, I don't know what it is. I didn't pry. I'm not a reporter. I don't really care. But I hear there's some stuff that might prevent teams from taking them in the first half of the draft because of it. But is the value there when you watch him? Like the guy comes off the ball with a flat back, like he stacks and he sheds, like he looks like a starting defensive tackle in this business.
Yeah, he's also got a ridiculous edge to him too. Like he's a nasty fella, and you put him next to Jalen Carter, you got something there, my man.
Well, let me just say this. Like, I understand the need. You lose Milton Williams. I get it. I had the agent for Jordan Davis reach out to me after the season because I've been exceedingly hard on Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
He's the 13th pick in the draft. He doesn't stay on the field longer than 5 plays in any series ever. And then there's games where he just isn't on the field, where he's playing 13 snaps, 15 snaps in a game. And I said to the agent, I said, look, it's not personal on Jordan, but he's got to have more endurance than he does. I told him, you should reach out to Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence is an elite player in this league right now for the New York Giants, but he wasn't his first 2 years in the league. He had conditioning issues, blah, blah, blah. And he wasn't productive. I said, I think Jordan Davis can do it, but I think it's mental. Like, it's some of these guys that are 360 pounds, I don't know what Jordan weighs right now, but some of these guys, it's a mental thing. Like, you got to fight through it. And once you fight through it, you'd be surprised at what you can do. And I feel like it's either going to happen or not happen for Jordan this year. Either he's going to, because they had a rotation where they had a Jomo, they had Milton, they had Jalen, and Jalen was playing too many snaps. He's playing, in some games, he played every snap. Now, to his credit, like he still knows how to turn it on. But, Jalen Carter doesn't need to be playing 90%. He should be playing 75 or 80%. And Jordan Davis should pick up the slack in whatever they draft. So that's just my own take on Jordan Davis. Like, he's got to stay on the field longer than he's shown.
Yeah. Listen, I agree. I will tell you that I think that they are optimistic at Novacare, some of the coaches, about Davis.
Davis?
Yeah.
Well, they were optimistic last year.
No, and I think down the stretch, I think they liked the way he played. I mean,
he got better. I mean, I pointed out a game this year where literally he was walking on the field. Yeah. The play's going on.
I remember.
You.
You
To me, that's the worst. Like, get off the field.
Right.
Just go get some water.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anybody walking on the field.
No.
It was back in early in the season when the Eagles were struggling.
You texted me, Jordan. You texted me about Jordan Davis. You sent me the play. I was like, oh, my God. You saw it. You're like, Cuz, look at this. Oh, my God. It was horrible. But I do think they like the way he played down the line at the end.
Yeah, I didn't see much impact during the playoffs. But, I know he had to play in the Super Bowl. But for the most part, he needs to stay on the field longer.
Yeah. No, listen, you're right on. The other one is another guy that has maybe some issues. He would be Mike Green, defensive end from Marshall. Well,
he had issues when he was at Virginia. He came out, he spoke about it. I think they're all behind him. There's some stuff, that he was not found guilty of, but there's some stuff on the record. But he did address it. His agent is the same agent as Michael Penix Jr. So I've been around. I saw Michael Green destroy the Senior Bowl. Yeah, like destroy, like individual. First of all, this is a very deep and talented defensive line class. Every single drill that I was there for 2 days at the Senior Bowl, he was first in line. He literally led every single drill, and he's got some one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl where you're like, that's real power against good players. I see him sort of in the back half of the first round. I could see Pittsburgh being highly interested at 21 if they don't go quarterback. But he's a legit edge rusher. And people can pick apart his arm length. That's fine. That guy can bend. He can come off the edge. Honestly,
he's powerful.
If you just looked at him from a pass rush ability, there's not a whole lot different between him and Abdul Carter.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
now, Abdul Carter
Yeah.
He can play anywhere.
Yeah.
He can line up, duel up anywhere.
Yeah.
He made like the plays that he made in 3 years at Penn State.
Yeah.
Literally the tape just goes on and on. And
I know
on
what
and
you're
on.
saying. I know what you're saying.
But if you just said, just rushing the passer,
Yeah.
right, just from that standpoint alone, there's not a great deal of difference between size, speed, explosion, ability. There's not that much difference.
I'll tell you, his power is something that's impressive. And he's got dogs.
If my edge rusher doesn't have power, like he's just not gonna fit in.
Yeah.
He's just because the amount of times that you can beat these elite tackles in the business with just moves, suddenness, quickness, fast twitch, like it's just not going to happen very often. Maybe there's a Micah Parsons that can do that on occasion, but you need power. That's why Micah Parsons last year tried to gain 10 pounds.
Yeah.
He wanted more power to his pass rush.
Yeah.
To beat, to be able to collapse Lane Johnson, Trent Williams, some of these, elite players at that position.
Yeah. What's interesting? I think both these players have it, and they both got edge, a nasty edge to them. And talking to somebody the other night and about the real reason why the Eagles won. And one of the real reasons why they won was because they were relentless. And they felt like at some point the other team would tap out. Like they believed that sooner or later there were going to be a tap out piece. And in fact, they were so angry at themselves after they lost the Washington game because they're like, Washington beat us. We beat ourselves in that game. We let that loss happen. That they believed that there was no way in the world that was going to happen again. And that they believed at some point those other teams were going to tap out. I'm curious what you think of that.
Kansas City tapped out. I mean, they couldn't convert a third down. They couldn't stay on the field.
Well, they identified that they could abuse Tooney and they could abuse that line. I mean, they knew that was happening.
Yeah, they won their one-on-ones. And had Mahomes, running for his life. So,
but they even said in the locker room at halftime that, because remember what happened the 2 years prior, right? They're like, we're not letting him out of the cage. Like, he's not coming out of the cage. Mm-hmm. And they knew that there was no way that he was going to be able to convert anything.
Yeah,
it was just interesting.
24-0 at half. It became 34-0 with 34 seconds to go in the third quarter. I mean, it was a complete domination. But I'm sure everybody echoed that sentiment from 2 years earlier when they were up 24-10 and let it slip away. And, they had to live with that for 2 years. So I'm sure that was the sentiment in that locker room, that from Nick all the way down, coaches, players, I'm sure Lane Johnson was saying the same thing, the leaders, letting the young guys know that this thing, we're not letting this one get away. We already did that. So I'm sure you kept 30 minutes at halftime. I'm sure that was immediately brought up.
It was interesting because they took a mentality. Like, they were in pads the whole year. Like, Nick's idea was, like, we're gonna be in pads on Wednesday. Like, we're putting them on. Even during the playoffs, they took them off a couple times, but they were putting them on. And on Mondays, usually, which is just treatment day and nothing team activities, that changed this year. They were all working on Mondays. They were coming in. They were watching film. They were doing their stuff, and it became like a badge of honor to them. The work piece of it. I think that is really kind of
That's Nick. That's Nick, man. Like we're not going to take our foot off the pedal. It starts at the top, but that's also the construction of the team. I mean, those. When they won the Super Bowl in 2017, they had the pads on during the weekend at the Super Bowl in Minneapolis, and during much of the season, and they were going to stay sharp. They were going to move the line of scrimmage. They were going to win the line of scrimmage. And, if Mekhi Becton is going up against Jalen Carter, on practice, it's going to make both guys better.
Yeah. Where we stand before the draft. Now, first of all, congratulations. This is really a big honor. Baldy is going to be doing day 3. All right?
Nice.
NFL Network is going to rely on that man. And I'll tell you that I know that nobody uncovers gems in the late rounds like Baldy. Baldy has an eye for talent.
Well, let me just clear one thing up. Like we have Rich Eisen, Daniel Jeremiah. They'll all be out there, in Green Bay. But but it's a 7-hour day on Saturday, so they have like 2 or 3 half-hour breaks. So when they go to break, they'll be coming to me in L.A., and so we'll be carrying the broadcast. So I just got our lads yesterday. I mean, I probably I know most of these guys here, but for the most part, like. I still got plenty of guys I want to look at. I'm telling every GM, personnel director I know, give me 5 guys that are going to be day 3 guys. Let me go look at them. So, you got this safety from Virginia, that looks like a really, really good player right now. Like I had to go watch him last night. He made 270 tackles in 3 years at Virginia, and he's got some ball skills. I mean, this is a good draft, I think, for safeties.
No, very good draft, yeah.
But the Eagles are, to me, they need a linebacker and they need a safety in this draft that can play.
Yeah, I know they've been linked to Starks in the first round, but that's not going to happen. I don't see that. But yeah, I think you're right. I think curious about what you think about the running backs in this draft late.
Well, I'm a big fan of Cam Scatterbo.
I love him. I love that kid. He's a football player.
They said, "Well, what's his comp, Baldy?" They asked me that yesterday, and because he ran a 4.66. Okay, I think Le'Veon Bell ran a 4.66, but like David Montgomery, I was a big fan of him coming out of Iowa State. He starts for Detroit. Contact balance like Scatterbo, can't tackle the guy. Broke all kinds of records breaking tackles at Iowa State. Been doing the same thing in the league. But that's the high end. Like David Montgomery has averaged over 4 yards a carry for 6 years in this league. Like that's a solid running back. He's not a star, but he's solid and he can wear you down.
And he'll get in the end zone, man. Like he finds the end zone. Dude, you saw that playoff game. He was relentless in that playoff game. He was getting IVs on the side, throwing up, going back in the game. He was incredible in that game against Texas.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean he carried first of all, he had 30 carries in that game.
Yeah.
All right. For I think 150. And he caught 9 balls for 99 yards. Like he could catch. Now you have to get past the complexion thing, But like you look at that guy, it's literally muscle on muscle. Like he's just a strong, powerful guy. All right. And the low end, if you remember, like Damian Pierce came out of Florida 3 years ago, 4th round pick.
Yeah.
Didn't get a lot of carries at Florida, but had a monster first year for the Texans. Then he got hurt in the second year. Then they picked up Mixon last year, so he didn't get a lot of reps. But like he was a great contact balanced guy. It's hard to get him off his feet. Like I think Scatterbo can be like that. But there is a ton. Like you can find running backs. I mean, Omarion Hampton and obviously
Carolina,
yeah. I mean he's a hell of a back. But and Ashton Genty probably doesn't get out of the top 10. But there is a lot of really good backs. Caleb Johnson at Iowa. There's a lot of good both backs at Ohio State. Like there's a lot of good backs in this draft.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Genty. I'm curious to see where Genty goes. The Raiders are interesting because that seems like a fit, Genty to the Raiders. But they're a little bit of a wild card because if Jackson Dart is there.
At 6?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's not. No, I mean, you might have intel, cause that I don't have access to. So
I'm just saying there's a lot. There's a lot of smoke around that.
Yeah, I like Jackson. I watched a video of him.
They like him. Teams like him better than
Shador.
Yes.
Here's
my guarantee to you. Not guarantee, but here's my gentleman's thing with you. Dark goes ahead of Shador.
All right, but that might happen. I watched a video, a melt of pregame, postgame video of Jackson Dart. I wanted to like him, and then I couldn't like him. Like the emotional roller coaster that guy is on is too much for me. like whether it's crying on the sidelines or, yapping with fans. I don't know, just something about that guy. I know he's got 3 years with Lane, and he had some big games. I like Shador's composition far better than I like Jackson Dart's.
I could buy that, but
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah,
but
I buy that.
Like,
I'll be honest with you, I don't like neither of them, but
I'm not in love. I'm not in love with one single quarterback in this draft.
No.
I'm not in love with one. All right. I like some, and I like parts of some. I don't love any of them.
Right.
I don't see C.J. Stroud. Forget Joe Burrow. Like, I just don't see.
Even Cam. I go, all right, I like Cam.
But they're not Jaden Daniels.
No.
They're just not Jaden. None of them are Jaden Daniels.
No.
Now, I don't want to say that they can't develop, that,
Right.
That Shador can't improve. I don't want to say that about anybody. Like, good coaching matters. Nobody could have thought Jalen Hurts could be the MVP of a Super Bowl game 6 years ago, but here he is. So, the team, the structure, how like Jared Goff was washed up when he left the Rams. Now look at him. Like, he is a bona fide starting quarterback, and he is exactly what he was coming out of Cal. He's extremely accurate. You can't knock him off his pedestal. He's very tough. Like, all those things are now a fact of how he plays. But so I don't want to kill anybody, but I'm not in love with one of these guys.
Yeah, dude, I feel you, and especially since there's a lot of like every draft, there's a talent up there. Like if I'm one of these other teams, I'm praying these quarterbacks go, but I don't think Shador's going to go until later. I think you see him slip.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think I think Dion and Shador are just fine if that happens, as long as he goes to a good place. Like, if the Rams decide they're going to start investing in the future at that position, they almost lost Stafford this year. How many more years can he go? Like, could the Rams, you put him with Sean McVay, if you feel like he's accurate and he's learned 5 different offenses in 4 years in college. He ran Chip Kelly's offense this year. I mean, that's exactly what Colorado ran, because that's all the talent they had was to run that offense. So, if Chip Kelly's with the Raiders, could the Raiders, be interested in Shador? They need a quarterback. I don't know if Tom Brady signs off on it, whatever. But I think they're fine wherever he goes. Like, he was with Pittsburgh yesterday. Like, I don't think it's a good fit if Aaron Rodgers comes. But because I just don't think if you're going to sign Aaron Rodgers, if that happens, guys, all you're saying to the entire fan base is we're all in. We're all in right here. But you're not investing in the future. Go get yourself a piece at 21, whether it's an explosive tight end in a good draft for tight ends, or if it's, a defensive back that can help keep the score down against Baltimore and Cincinnati, whatever. Like, go do that right now.
Rodgers to the Steelers, right, to go all in. Is it possible that could he last a season? Like, I know. I feel like it's the same story. It's Brett Favre.
Because honestly, like I'm not throwing shade at Aaron Rodgers or anybody.
Right.
This is a young man's game. Enough.
Yeah.
Like, he should retire. Like, if I'm tempted. My buddy's in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
So he's running the personnel side. Like, I'm tempted during this whole process to put a 5-play reel together where he couldn't make a play against Denver on the 1-yard line to win a game. He couldn't make a play in London against the Vikings with Garrett Wilson wide open to win a game. He couldn't make a play at the end of the Seattle game to go win a game. He couldn't take the team down the field to do what you got to do to win a game. And then he was in such a hurry to get rid of the football because he didn't want to take another hit. Like, that's not going to go away. And then it used to be, and this is because he had one of the great golden arms to ever play this game. He could not put the ball where he wanted to put it with any consistency last year. Like, just watch these games. Like, I don't know what the love affair is. They just went through this with Ben. They couldn't figure out how to, like, get away from Ben when he was done doing the exact same things. Like, we all saw Ben at the end. Like, that big, strong, strapping guy, like just throw go routes. Let's throw go routes. Like, just get the ball out of my hands. Like, it's the same thing.
It is. It is. You know what's interesting? Honestly, I'd rather have Flacco than Rodgers. Because Flacco at least is bigger and still has an arm. Right?
Well, he's still healthier.
Right.
Like, he can still, like,
he's sturdy. Like, the other guy looks frail. Like, Rodgers looks frail to me. Flacco still looks like he's sturdy, and I can at least, I got a guy that can throw the ball down the field. I got Pickens and the other kid. I can at least throw the ball down the field.
Well,
he went to Cleveland.
Played pretty good last year. He played very well the year before with Cleveland. There's no decline physically, okay, in Joe. There's no decline physically. He's the same. Aaron, like, the guy got beat up last year.
Yeah.
He couldn't move. The Achilles thing, like, I don't know if you ever recover at that age from an Achilles. Kirk Cousins is out there. Like, is he recovered, or is it just he needs another year?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to take that chance with Kirk Cousins? Atlanta said, hell with it. We're going to Penix. You know, does Cleveland take, you know, and I mean, you're banking on these Achilles, these late career injuries at your Achilles, you know, injury, thinking everything's just going to be fine.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like it was fine.
Hey, last thing from this football standpoint, speaking of the end of careers. So I don't know if you saw the BG. BG was on a couple podcasts, right? He was on the New Heights with Kelsey, and he was on Kay Adams, and he was telling the story about how he wasn't sure whether or not he wanted to retire. And he walks into Howie's office, and Howie's like, so Howie asked him, hey, what do you want to do, BG? And he's like, I don't know. What do you think? And he's like, I can't do that to you, man. Like, I can't get, you gotta call it quits. Like, you gotta call it a career, right? And it was interesting. Then he goes on Kay Adams, because he was saying he's leaving up in God's hands, right? Like, what's the sign? Right. And Howie said, look, so you have a fairy tale, man. You win the Super Bowl, like we won the Super Bowl, whole thing. And then he goes on Kay Adams, and he's like, well, I'm still going to be in shape in case I get that call. Like, I'm 90% retired. It sounded like he really doesn't want to retire, and he's wondering.
Look, I mean, I don't care who you are. Like, I used to say jokingly, cuz you should play as long as you can, then 2 more years.
Right.
You know, get the check, right? Like, that was always my standard line. Now, that's what BG's doing. Like, can I get another year? I got, the kids love being around the locker room, loves bringing them to the field. It's great. He's got a great family. The kids are young. It's fun for them. Like, I can see the attraction. But he tore his tricep twice last year, and like I tore my tricep last year. It still doesn't feel right.
Right.
Like, I'll say that if BG was on the show with us right now, like, I tried to play a 13th year, right? And I couldn't pass the physical. And I was just like, I want to play. I want to beat my brother, play a year longer than my brother Rich, all these things, right? And it takes a year to get it out of your system to, like, okay, I'm retired.
Right.
But once the year went by and I started, like, getting into the next phase of my life, I was, and to this day, I'm so grateful I didn't play a 13th year. I didn't know it at the time. But if I would have had another injury that I'm dealing with now, like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
He's made more money than I ever dreamed of. He's got 2 Super Bowl champions and one where he's the reason why they won the Super Bowl. I mean, he's going to be remembered as one of the great Eagles of all time. Nobody ever comes into this business and says, I just won 15 years. Give me 15, I'll get out.
Right.
Like, if you get 15, you beat
You're blessed.
Single
Yeah.
Every single. And if you remember, when they drafted him, I know you do, cuz, but when he was drafted in 2010, like, they were playing him at the one technique defensive tackle. He was getting eaten alive.
Yeah.
Like, they couldn't figure out his position.
Yeah.
For 2 years, he was a bust.
Oh, yeah.
He overcame all of that. Like, BG needs to, like, literally hang up the cleats.
Yeah.
And I would tell him, like, he will never regret it down the road when he's out there in the backyard playing with his kids.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Hey, Baldy, can I ask you, do you the big draft day coverage, do you have an outfit planned out, or do you get a new suit for it? Do you pull something out of the closet? It's a big day.
It's a big day. I have good suits. I have good suits. Like I have Saks Fifth Avenue made my suits for me for a long time. I got suits that haven't been worn very much, but I'll have a good one. I might go a little loud with it, like just maybe a little extreme, just to sort of make a statement. I'm not sure yet. Or I could just go classic blue suit, red tie, I could go classic. I don't know yet. But I'll be at a desk at the NFL Network, so I'll probably give it some thought. I'm definitely going to take some suits out there with me to LA. So we'll give it some thought.
Cool.
He's going to go loud.
I like a loud
Baldy
Baldy.
goes big. Yeah. That's it, brother. Hey, all right. Give me a day next week. I can see you. All right.
I don't know if I'm going to be here in Florida next week yet, cuz let me let you know.
All right.
Because I'm going out like literally Easter Sunday. I'm going out to LA, so I just don't know yet if I'm here or from Florida.
Yeah. When is Easter next Sunday?
The
It
21st.
is.
Oh my God! This is Palm Sunday.
Wow.
Palm Sunday. That's
Wow!
right. Palm Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow!
Next weekend.
I blanked on it. All right, let me know your schedule. See if you're around. All right,
Okay.
buddy.
I'll let you know, cousin.
All right,
You got
see you,
it.
brother. There
See
he
you,
is, Baldy. We have Doc. All right. So every other Friday, we love to visit with our Rothman doctors. They are the best. We were talking about, getting you back to doing what you love. There's nothing better than our friends over at Rothman Orthopedics. All right, you're a weekend warrior or just trying to keep up the kids like me, right? Sometimes your body doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, or sometimes just walking's painful.
All right, so it could be an old injury, it could be you name it, old age, whatever it is. That's where Rothman Orthopedics comes in. All right, because they are our men, that we love them. They're our go-to doctors, the best. And Dr. Richard Tosti, is a fellowship-trained, board-certified orthopedic surgeon who specializes in the hand.
All right.
All right. So Doc is it's amazing. He's a consulting physician for the World Boxing Organization, as well as the Ultimate Fighting
I bet
Championship.
there's a lot of broken hands there.
Oh yeah,
Ultimate
are you
Fighting.
kidding me? I mean, I can't wait to talk to Dr. Tosti. Doc, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, we got a team.
Doc,
Over.
you guys are the greatest, man.
Back up so you guys can see me.
Yeah, we got you great. Hey,
Man, are we in an operating room?
So you guys paused operations at Rothman Orthopedics today.
Wow.
I'm between my 6th and 7th case this morning. What? So here we are in the OR.
God
Making some-
bless
It's
you.
10:30. He's already operated on 6 people?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the team here. They wanted to say hi as well.
Nice work.
Hey, guys.
Nice work. Yeah.
You guys perform God's work, all right? You keep us in motion. You keep us active. You save our limbs, our motion. God bless you. Doc, what procedure have you done this morning?
We've done about 6 this morning. We had a carpal tunnel, a trigger finger, a mass excision. We had a wrist fracture, a second mass excision, and another trigger finger. So,
Wow.
It's only 10:30.
Oh my God. And the hand of all the bones, like you want to talk about, something that's so difficult. How do you, the moving parts and all the bones in your hand, God bless you, man. What's been the most, is there a procedure that you like doing the most? I know it sounds kind of weird.
Yeah.
it's not weird. It kind of reminds me of like when Paul McCartney had an interview and like, what's your favorite song?
Right.
And he said, well, I like all my children the same, but if I had to name one, it'd be Here, There, and Everywhere. But for me, it's a similar kind of thing. I really like doing wrist replacement surgery.
Wow.
Wrist replacement. I didn't even know you did that.
Then
why-
when does that come into play?
It's very new. It's cutting edge, and we're one of the few centers that offer it.
That's amazing. When will it be necessary?
It's necessary when somebody has arthritis that's very severe and runs the whole length of the wrist. There's 2 separate layers to the wrist. So if somebody has arthritis in both layers and they want to keep their range of motion, then this would be an option for them.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense being a hand specialist that you are when it comes to boxing and MMA, Ultimate Fighting, with all the trauma to the hands.
Yeah, so that's one of my side gigs is Friday nights. I like to sit ringside at many of these events. I used to compete when I was younger, before medical school. I used to train MMA and naturally kind of fell into it.
Doc looks like
You look like
he looks
an
like
MMA fighter.
he looks like a big tough guy.
I like
yeah.
it. That's awesome, man. That is so cool. I used to cover boxing, and I remember guys, at some point, sometimes guys would get hurt, broken hands, and they'd have to postpone the fight for a couple months while they healed up.
Sometimes it's required. There's certainly non-surgical and surgical approaches to it, but our approach is to get them back in as fast as they can so they can start making impact.
That's awesome, Doc. How'd you get into that?
I got into it because a lot of the coaches now used to be my teammates back when I was in med school and before that. I used to train at several places. In fact, I lived in Thailand for a year of my life, trained abroad.
Wow. Are you serious?
This guy rules. This doctor
Oh
rules.
my God. That's incredible. You're like the white. They say that character, the White Lotus. Yeah.
Yeah, Thai boxing's a huge part of the culture in Thailand. I lived there for a year of my life. So to answer your question, a lot of the folks that were my teammates then are now coaches, and you have to have a doctor ringside present at all these events as required by the state. So that's how I got into it.
That's awesome. My God, Richard. What do they call you, Doc?
What do they call me?
Yeah, what was your fight name?
I don't know. I didn't have a fight name or anything like that. Maybe just a standard Italian guy, but
that's fabulous.
Doc, can I ask, with this wrist replacement, do you detach the hand from the forearm and put something in there and reattach it?
Yeah. So basically, if you have arthritis on two sides of a joint surface, you want to take some of that away. The problem with arthritis is the bones are grinding against each other. So you have to have some kind of a surface in between that so it's smooth. So you do take a little bit of bone away. The newer implants are designed such that it's very minimal resection compared to the older ones. So you take a little bit of bone away and then you replace that with a metal and plastic implant, just like you would for a knee or a hip.
This is wild.
Isn't that wild? That's incredible. Hey, let's talk quickly about Tyrese Maxey's tendon, which bothered him, the tendon in the finger. What causes that?
So just full disclosure, I'm not taking care of Tyrese.
Yes, we always make sure that that's the case.
That's right. So I'm just commenting on the press release on that. And it was very vague. They just called it finger tendon injury, which could mean a lot of different things. But if I'm kind of putting the pieces together for this, I'm thinking, okay, basketball player, tendon injury, not being treated surgically, and going to keep him out for about 2 months. I would put my money on a mallet finger. You guys ever heard that term before?
No.
Finger? Okay. So it's very common in ball sports. And what happens is when you have some kind of a jamming injury, something will hit the tip of the finger, the tendon that straightens the tip of the finger up essentially pulls off of the bone.
So like this?
The finger will look kind of like this. So the French surgeon who described this in 1880 thought that it looked a lot like a mallet.
Ah, wow.
They thought that looked like this.
Right.
Yeah, kind of playing into the stereotype for orthopedic surgeons because in medicine they think we learn through picture books, but
that's wild. So what's the treatment like for something like that?
It depends on how bad it is. Mostly the treatment is non-surgical. I would say 90-95% of the time non-surgical. We split these into two categories. There is either a bony mallet finger or a soft tissue mallet finger. So if you have a bony one, the tendon pulls off, but it pulls a chunk of bone with it. It'll actually separate part of the joint. And if that chunk of the joint is a lot, then those would be treated surgically. If it's small or if it's just soft tissue, meaning just the tendon itself peels away, then oftentimes that's treated just with a splint. But the treatment's incredibly annoying for it. So the splint has to be on the finger 24/7 for about 2 months.
Oh, wow. Oh, damn.
Yeah. So that's the hard part, is getting people to comply with it. Especially if they have a job like mine. For example, I could never wear a splint for 2 months. How could I scrub it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So in those, there are some specialized cases where I actually put a pin in the finger and bury it and let people like do their job so that the pin acts as a splint. An internal.
That makes sense. Oh, that's fascinating. Yeah. Like mine, it goes on the, I don't know if you could see it. It goes on a curve, like it's not straight. I have to go like that to make it straight.
Yeah.
I got caught in the helmet and it just ripped, and it was like it never was the same.
Yeah. So yours looks like an extensor tendon problem, but in the joint below it. So,
right. In that part, yeah.
The mallet finger, and again, I'm just guessing at this. I haven't seen Tyrese's finger, but in a mallet finger, the problem is at the very tip, or we call it the distal joint or the DIP joint. Yours is one joint below that. We call that the PIP joint or the proximal interphalangeal joint. So different injury. We could talk for a while on that one too, but
that's so interesting, man.
Yeah,
Doc, we got to talk fights, man. Who's your favorite fighter? You have a favorite fighter now?
I do. My favorite fighter is a guy from Philadelphia. His name's Joe Pyfer.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So Joe is ranked right now in the top 15 in UFC, and I like him because I don't know if you saw the big clip that was out 2 years ago, but Joe was on Contender Series and dislocated his elbow in the ring. It was all over.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had played a role in Joe's treatment. We had performed surgery on him to help him extend his elbow because after this first surgery, he couldn't reach out.
Wow.
Yeah. So we were able to get him like full extension on that, and then as you know, he's been on a hot streak. He's had, like,
awesome. You saved his career.
Yeah, and we became friends after it, and I cheer for Joe every time he comes up.
What a great story.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
He set the record for hardest punch in UFC. He hit that machine. He set the record with the operative arm. So I was like,
nice.
You create the bionic man. It's incredible, man. That's awesome. Oh, man, God bless you. Doc, what a pleasure. We got to get in here one day. All right, you get a couple hours. Come in. We'll talk boxing and MMA. All right.
Great, man. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. We'll let you get back to work. You guys are the greatest. We know we love you, and you perform God's work. You keep us in motion, and you keep careers alive. So God bless you, buddy.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Really
what a
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
Doc. Really great stuff. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Have a great weekend. How about that? That's awesome.
Doc
man.
was cool.
He was very cool. He had guns.
Yeah. He looked like a fullback.
Yeah, Doc's a man.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of our friends, shall we? That's it. What are we up to? We're up to parkscasino.com. I mean, Street Road Bent Salem.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of our friends over at some of the great acts that are happening at Parks Casino, like the Isleys tonight.
Oh, yeah. This old heart of mine's been broke 1,000 times. Each time you break away.
All right. What about the live April 24th?
Oh, now feel it coming back again.
I mean, you got all kinds of
good. It's good acoustics in here.
Yeah, you like
harmonies.
that.
Yeah, really
Ashley McBride.
Ashley McBride. Hold on. I don't want a number you ain't gonna answer.
That's pretty good.
Let's just stick to the one night standards.
I like it. I mean, these are some of the acts that you can find at Parks Casino. What else have we got?
We got a little Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Yeah.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. Yeah, we got
your boy.
Clutch on June 14th. Bang, bang,
You
bang,
always
bang.
crack me up.
Vamonos. That's June 14th. Clutch. Yeah, a ton of acts up there.
Yeah, you know what's a truism, I think? Irish people are great singers. A lot like you're,
Yeah.
I've noticed that Irish people can sing.
Yeah.
They carry a beautiful tune, a lot of the Irish.
Yeah, it's in our culture, you know, singing and dancing.
You know?
Yeah,
it is
we love
interesting.
Yeah.
My buddy, because you remind me of my buddy Boo sometimes. Like,
Oh, yeah?
when he would, he'll do his thing. Like,
Do his thing.
yeah, like he'll do his you too. Cracks me up.
Hey, let's talk some flooring.
Hold on. Let's not jump. ParksCasino.com. Don't forget dinner and drinks before the show at the Bamboo Noodle House. Right?
That place is
the
slamming.
all-weather beer garden, which is amazing. The Parks Grill Steakhouse, and of course, Chickies and Pete's. Parks Casino, this is how you win Pennsylvania's #1 casino. ParksCasino.com for tickets for all the shows. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We also got our cousins, the medium and the two mediums.
Teresa Caputo and Frazier.
Matt Frazier.
Matt Frazier.
Yeah, Matt Frazier.
Cousin Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A ton of stuff's happening up there. All right, flooring time now. Let's talk about Empire Today. They're here to take all the stress out of repairing and replacing your floors. So with Empire Today, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, and quick professional installation and a price match guarantee. Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. Of course, there's copycats out there, but they can't beat Empire Today on quality, service, and speed, so they advertise low products with low prices, and it's quality products that Empire just simply won't carry. Empire, they got this cool virtual floor designer. It's a great way to see how the new floors will look in any space. It's easy. Snap a picture, and instantly you can see how the new floors will look in your own room. They pride themselves on the convenient shop-at-home experience. They help customers shop for floors where they use the floors, in your house. It's important. They got service that's beyond anyone. They service their own warranties. So if an issue does come up with Empire, you just call them. They service it themselves. You don't have to track down a manufacturer's phone number or a third party. So schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners receive $350 off. It's a $350 discount for PHLY listeners, so use the promo code PHLY. Restrictions do apply. EmpireToday.com/PHLY for more details.
Today. On Fridays, we love to visit with our man, the AD. Danny D. Danny D. Get on over here, buddy boy. By the way, when we go over to overtime, Frage, just throw it up there because I don't have a clock out here. What you doing, buddy boy?
Good, man.
How's my man?
I'm doing well, man. Good week. How about
The
you?
AD, Danny D.
Interact, Danny D.
That's it, man. Yo, your boy VG, man. Him and Andrew might have to get on stage at Parks one of these days, man.
Oh, dude, they're hand bones.
The Cosettes, you know?
Someone just, you like Casper just said, we need our own show at Parks at this point.
Yeah,
Really?
I think we can make that happen, man.
I think so.
I'll be the hype man. I can do that.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I was hanging out with one of your boys the other day.
I got a text.
Yeah,
He's a
your
good guy.
soccer coach out there.
Yeah, Bobby D over at Penn Charter, man.
Bobby D's my boy.
Really?
I worked with Bobby D when he was like 13 or 14 at a butcher shop. We were,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we were slicing
So
meats.
you grew up together?
Yeah.
Bobby D?
He knows that.
we
He's
worked.
he's in everything, man. He's a bartender at Keenan's in the summer. He has a T-shirt printing business. He's a
Yeah, I grabbed some
legendary
t-shirts
soccer
off
coach.
him. Yes.
Soccer coach. He does it all, man. He's a legend.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, I'm excited to be able to
You
work
said
with
he's
him.
been a soccer coach over there like 19 years or something?
Yeah, he's been coaching for he's a North Catholic guy, and then he's been coaching I think, for 30, 40 years. He's a legend.
In case you just joined us and didn't see last week, Danny D, the new AD at Penn Charter, and I know he's thrilled, but he loves his time at the prep and all his family at St. George Prep.
For sure.
It was raining out, and I had to grab it.
You look good, man.
I had
Looks
to
good
grab
on
it,
you.
you
Yeah,
know.
we love the prep. We're still going to rock the prep, man.
That's right.
We love the prep.
That's right. So, what kind of impact do you think? Are you studying up on the Interact?
Yeah, so I'm learning more about the league. I'm spending time talking with some people over at Penn Charter. They hired a football coach about a month ago, so I've been talking with him a little bit. CJ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just trying to get the coach. Yeah, obviously I'm still working the prep till July.
A
but
new varsity coach?
yeah, he was a DC over at Episcopal. So good coach, knows the league. So I'm helping him kind of build out a staff. But obviously, we're still working at the prep, so it's like I'm doing a little bit of both right now.
Yeah.
I'm juggling both. But I'm excited. We're going to do some big things over there. We're excited about there's a lot of excitement about, me coming over, but also, like, the athletics are really strong there. Like, the girls lacrosse teams.
Have you talked to Matt Ryan?
No, so he got honored last night, and I couldn't go. It was actually at the FOP. He got honored in the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. So we're going to link up. We're going to talk.
Yeah.
Try to get him, more around as much as we can. And, yeah, there's a ton of excitement, and I'm excited about it. They have some already great programs and then some programs that are good that, we just need to shake things up and bring a little leadership and guidance to them, and we'll be.
It's interesting, like building the. Nah, listen, you're going to be in charge of all sports, and you got female sport, girl sports, like the whole thing. But the football thing, I love the football thing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Like building a football program.
Yes,
It's
gonna
like
be fun.
your dream.
Yeah.
Get your hands on it,
Yeah.
Get in.
Special advisor to Penn Charter. Anything organic.
No, but you.
He's got the knowledge.
You, like, is there a blueprint? You have like a sketch on how to build a program?
So, yeah, I've been around being at Roman.
What you did at St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, but I started at Roman, and we kind of had a rebuild there. And they're like, they're a top 200 program in the country now. Yeah. And then at the Prep, when I got there, obviously they're elite. We kind of just sustained it and kept it growing gradually. But they were, a top 50 program in the country pretty regularly.
But now they're a top 10.
Yeah, so I think I have an idea of what it looks like and what it takes to be programs to compete at that level. And I'm a big, advocate of iron sharpens iron, playing tough schedules.
Iron sharpens iron, Joey.
Got to get it going and having, just giving the support and resources to the kids to really maximize their potential. At the end of the day, that's I found is the strongest component to really growing a program. Just giving the resources, wrapping your hands around it, giving them the love, but also putting them in positions to succeed.
Well, what's interesting, too, and this is part of the building process, is that you're now going to have a grade school.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
And having a grade school like that, how many elite high schools have grade schools?
Yeah, not many. So it's a unique setup, and the way I think it is like it's a great opportunity for 6th, 7th, 8th grade to, be entrenched in what the program and the culture is all about at the high school level. So
yeah.
And in baseball, you have the farm system,
yes.
and the college. So to be able to work towards something that young, I think it gives us an advantage. And I'm excited to really get my hands on it and wrap that and push that through.
Well, one of the things you could do is you can install all your stuff at lower levels.
For sure.
So by the time they get to your point, they're going to know the offense in and out.
Discipline, they're going to understand it. Yeah, so like, just being ready and understanding, A, the culture of the program, but B, also the philosophies that we're trying to run. To build that up.
So it's funny you said that because I coached St. Margaret's basketball. I've been coaching up Massimo, so his age. And like I kept telling him, like, you guys need to run – everybody's got to run the same offense.
Yeah, it's important.
And have different defenses like from now to varsity.
The varsity should dictate it, right? And it should kind of trickle down because ultimately those lower levels are great, but they're developmental levels in my eyes. Like I don't really care about JV and freshmen.
Right, you're not looking about wins and losses. Right, you're looking about development. Yeah,
it's about development, learning the system, learning the culture to be able to step through. And
then by the time you get to an 8th grade, or in your case, in the varsity level, you'll have an understanding. You'll know the X's and O's.
For sure.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's interesting. I like that.
When I get settled in there, I think we have to do a remote at the new campus. They have the most beautiful field house.
Let's do it.
I think we should do a remote there. There's rock climbing. There's everything in there. It's crazy.
I'm in. Yeah.
We should do a show there one day.
You instill the culture of the program at a young age there.
Yeah, I love it. So you gave me a little homework, though, last week.
I did. Because it's baseball season,
Baseball season.
And I love the kids of our area. All right, because one of my passions is youth sports, obviously because of my kids, and I love phenoms. Like I love this stuff. I love when they get drafted, and I'll follow them through. Whether it's playing big time, college sports, or making it to the pros. Right, like we're talking about Matt Ryan. Anytime there's a local kid, I always root for him. So I asked you to come up with the best 50 baseball players in the area.
Yeah. So I had a little help. Obviously, I asked a senior at the prep, this kid, Robbie Grasso. He's super tight end. He's a stud baseball player himself, but he helped me go through it. And Jimmy over at the prep, we kind of sat down. We went through the rosters. We kind of figured out where guys lay. So we don't have to go all 50, but we can touch on a good amount of them, kind of get their name out there.
Southeastern Pennsylvania?
So we just did the Philadelphia Catholic League and Interact.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because there's so many kids, but just so I told him I want to expand it to like all of Pennsylvania for the next time we had the levels of it.
And then we'll do, and I'll help you with the Jersey ones.
And then we'll get over to Jersey. So we'll knock off this
our
area.
whole region, we got to make sure we cover everybody.
For sure. So we're giving everyone the proper love, but obviously there's so many kids that are talented, we can't do it all at once. So I said next week we're going to do Pennsylvania, and then we'll work on Jersey, and we'll keep growing the list. And at the end, maybe we can put it on the screen one day.
I love it. I think we should do the all PHLY team.
Yeah, that'd be for each after the season. We could talk about it.
And we'll do each sport.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be really cool. So we started at the prep. Obviously, that's the most knowledge.
Are we in overtime there, Skippy? Yeah, I know it. I know from the clock. Of course, Mr.
He's enjoying the show.
Yeah, I know.
He's resting his vocals for a big show apart.
He's back enjoying the
show. If I say anything, like if it's the show purposes, he's checked out. But if it's him singing,
yeah, man, we got to figure out this little duet we got going on.
The Cosettes. People like the Cosettes.
Yeah, the Cosettes, man. Let's get it.
Throw Joey in there, too. Do you have skateboarding?
No, I don't think that's a
extreme sport.
I've never seen it as a sport. The big sport that's coming up, esports, is growing, which is crazy. Like, so that's like there's leagues for that.
Schools are actually participating.
Yeah,
in
we
it?
have an esport.
You should
team.
make him do skateboarding, because he's a.
Oh, you're nice.
He just came from not him, Joey. Joey just came from a trip to Japan, China, and Taiwan.
That's awesome, man. That's a hell of an experience.
He's a pro. Yeah, he's a pro boarder.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out a way to start another sport, man. I'm always trying to grow it, so we can get maybe the X score to going on.
Yeah.
We got the space over Penn Charter. Got 47 acres, man. We'll figure we can put a skate park in there for Joey.
You can do a skate park, exactly.
Get one going in there.
All right, so what do we got?
So went over with the list. Obviously, I know prep a little bit more intimately from being there. So we have a senior, Robbie Grasso, who actually helped me with the list, going to Lehigh. He's like a Swiss Army knife. He plays third base, outfield. He can pitch, touches like low 90s.
Nice.
So he's going to Lehigh. We have and then we have a good balance of young guys. So then Scott Keenan's son, his son Jack plays first base. He can rake.
Yeah.
He's uncommitted. We have
Scotty's son, man. That's cool.
Really cool.
That's awesome.
We got a kid, Meritu Rupertus. He's pitching low 90s. He's getting recruited. He's a junior. He's getting recruited at Division I level. And then we got two sophomores, Chris Grasso and Cole Kuhn, who are both thrown in the 90s. So they're ceiling.
These
crazy.
kids thrown in 90s.
15 years old.
16 years old.
Just ripping it. So they're getting recruited Big Ten. They're getting recruited really high. So they're obviously sophomores. They haven't committed yet. Then at LaSalle, they're in first place in the league right now. Jamie, where's the bro at today, man?
Who knows? The bro's Friday. The bro's probably not working.
He's got the breakfast.
Yeah. He's always eating. Whatever it is.
LaSalle is they're going to, they have a kid, Declan Colley. He's going to Fordham. So good local school. He's a pitcher, right-handed pitcher. And then Aiden Chandler, he's going to Virginia Tech, first baseman from LaSalle. And then they have another kid going to Old Dominion.
Old Dominion's a good program, man.
So LaSalle,
that's one of the elite baseball programs.
LaSalle's been a power in baseball the last couple of years, but they have a really good coach, and they're developing their kids, and they're sending kids to high-level programs. And then you get to Ryan. There's this kid, David Perez. So I went when he pitched against the prep. He throws 95. But they say he's probably going to be a shortstop. He's stocky. He's going to West Virginia. He's a stud, David Perez.
He throws 95. They're going to make him a shortstop. Why?
I mean, you should see him hit.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he rakes. So
damn.
So that's over there. Archbishop Wood, David Kid, Richie Bychek, who's going to Stockton. He's a pitcher, right-handed pitcher. Bonner, David Kid, going to Rutgers University.
Yeah, well, Bonner's
been a
shortstop
factory.
high.
Been a factory,
Shortstop
obviously.
high,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Gonigal, man, he's a stud. Working his way through. He's going to be up pretty soon, I imagine.
Yeah, he got, I think he got hurt. He had a high ankle sprain.
Okay.
I was talking to Dad, and he had a high ankle sprain, so he's out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so they got this kid, Corey Sheridan, another pitcher going to Rutgers, so another Division I program. Cardinal Harris is this kid, Brendan Till. He's like an outfielder, middle infielder. He's going to LaSalle. So LaSalle program died. and then they're bringing it back. So next year's the first year, so they're recruiting a lot of kids
Oh,
locally,
that's
which
great.
is really cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
So I credit LaSalle for bringing it back, like not just letting it die. There's a big need for it. So next year's gonna be the first year
Temple
back.
should have done that. Yeah,
For sure. One of my best friends played for Temple when we came through, and then the program's, kind of donezo. So at Egan, they have this kid, Chase Forrester, another kid going to LaSalle, pitcher. So a lot of talent. Newman Goretti has a couple shorts, a kid is shortstop.
they're a good program. I spoke at their dinner a couple times. I love that. Coach is fantastic.
It's awesome. They're a great program. Again, like baseball in our league, there's so much parity. It's been Bonner, Newman, LaSalle. There hasn't been like a lot of dominance. And this year, LaSalle's 5-0, but everyone else has like 2 losses. Everyone's beating each other.
Yeah.
So playoffs should be really interesting how it finishes, but I'm excited for that. So they got a kid, Rossetti. He's going to Rutgers Camden. They have a kid, Capella, who's going to Hartford. So good teams, solid. And then we move on to the Interact. There's a kid from Malvern Prep, Will Oshel. He's going to Duke.
Wow.
So that's some serious baseball.
That's good baseball, Duke.
ACC, yeah.
Yeah, well, in fact, I introduced you to I coached with him, Kevin Kelly.
Yeah.
Kevin played at Duke. Kevin was a second-round pick.
Oh, wow.
Kevin, he got hurt. Kevin would have been a stud. He would have played 10 years in the majors. And that Duke program's a legit program.
Yeah, ACC is good baseball. Anything when you kind of get down south is when it gets more serious. And baseball is a weird sport where you go to a JUCO down south and it's like competitive like a Division I. Right?
Yeah.
Or you go to like a school we never heard of. I mean, when you look at the College World Series, some of these schools you never heard of and they're in the top 25 in the country. Like FGCU a couple years ago was a top 10, top 15 team. You don't think of SGCU in baseball.
I got a buddy of mine. His kid plays he played at Eustis. His kid plays D2 in Florida, and the program is
elite.
Yeah,
it's probably elite.
Yeah,
people get drafted out of that. Like, there's a ton of different. Baseball is not it's the biggest school's going to be great at it. It doesn't always happen that way. And then at Penn Charter, they have a kid, Garrett Mathis, going to Bucknell.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of a first baseman, catcher, outfielder, really good kid. And then there's a young kid from South Philly, Ryan Musial. He's younger, center fielder, but he's undecided, but a pretty big prospect.
Really? What's his name?
Musial. Ryan Musial.
Stan?
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's from South Philly.
South Philly kid.
He's unusual.
Yeah,
I
man.
love it. Ryan the man. Stan the man and Ryan. That's great.
At the Haverford School, they got a kid, Brenner Green, right-handed pitcher, going to Richmond.
Richmond's another good program.
And
Spiders.
then at Episcopal, they got a kid, Logan Carell. He's going to Lehigh as well. So a lot of local talent. And maybe next time I'll send over to Andrew so we can kind of post it up, get their names out there.
Yeah, in fact, that would be great because I like to
give them some love, let them feel it, let them show that we're thinking about them.
We can create slides so that everybody will see it.
For sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
And then we'll move on to PA as a whole, get some Jersey, maybe some Delaware.
Yeah.
Continue to talk about these kids.
I'll work on the Jersey kids. I'll get that list for you.
Yeah, we'd love to highlight them, and it's important. They love it, but also to give them their flowers, right?
I want to promote the sport in our area because Northeast you don't get a lot of love. There's some good baseball in this area
for sure. I agree.
And we saw it. Who's the kid McCormick from the Astros?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
There's a couple. There's a couple kids.
There's a kid, local guy from the Rockies. I can't think of his name right now. Local kid.
Yes.
As well.
Zach Gallen.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
McGonagall's
a kid from Bonner.
Yeah, he's our kid. Yeah.
He's from Bonner. But yeah, it is blowing up. These kids, and again, credit to it's crazy the development and how fast they're throwing. I have a buddy, Nick Petrowski, who owns Petrowski Physio, and he trains a lot of these kids with strength and conditioning, and it's crazy to think these kids are throwing 95.
Yeah. It's funny. We were working last night on a lot of the kids. A lot of kids were throwing last night. We had a break. We played 2 tournaments already, and then we have a break this week. So I think 2 because this week and next week's Easter. So we have a break. We're going over delivery and everything.
Yeah.
So Mosswell, because he's a quarterback, he pitches like a quarterback, right?
Yeah,
so
his mechanics.
Right. He's short. But
Yeah, he's kind of getting it out quick, opposed to the follow through for baseball.
So I'm like, dude, we're working with him last night, the coaches, and we're like, listen, dude, get that arm extended, big chest,
for sure.
Right? This way you can get torque, and it was unbelievable the difference.
Yeah,
it added 4 to 5 miles an hour.
It's the little things, and especially in baseball, because you don't have to be the biggest guy to throw. I mean, remember Billy Wagner was, he's 5'8", throwing absolute gas. It's all about like getting your legs into it and how you can really, get that
extension
torque.
and your stride.
Yeah.
And then when you get that torque going and that
yeah.
It just goes. It's amazing. Like what we did last night. Well, looking at him, I was like, damn.
Yeah, oh, it's cool.
But I just don't want to mess up his.
Football's his ticket right now. You gotta keep. We don't want to mess up too many mechanics.
So what else is on tap now?
Lacrosse
for spring,
Lax is big, and Interact Lax is like one of the, they're probably the best league in the country.
Really?
Girls and boys, and it's a small league, but they just have so many teams ranked nationally. Like Malvern's a powerhouse.
I knew Malvern was, yeah.
Episcopal, Haverford School, they're powerhouses, like nationally ranked. And then on the girls' side, there's 3 teams in the top 15 in the country. It's Episcopal, I think Agnes Irwin, and Penn Charter. They're all ranked. So for a 5-6 team league to have that many national,
they're all ranked
in the top 20 in the country. It's crazy.
So they got to be loaded with D1 recruits.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. So
well, isn't the hotbed for Lax? It's basically New York to Virginia.
Yeah, like Maryland is probably the capital.
Number one, right?
Maryland is like big time lacrosse, and then it sprinkles
North Carolina,
down.
Duke, and the ACC is huge.
Yeah, but it kind of sprinkles down this way, and it's growing. And again, like I always push city kids. We didn't have lacrosse. So it's not at a rec center. We don't have the field for it. But like I always tell everyone, one of my good friends in high school, this kid BJ Kletchek, picked up a lacrosse stick for the first time when he got to Roman. Twitchy, blah blah blah. End up being the all-time leading goal scorer. Goes on and plays college.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like you don't understand. It's a really cool sport, but it's just not as popular in the inner cities. And I think when inner city kids play it because they have the grit, they have the toughness. I think if you figure it out, you're going to be
great.
Yeah.
So my Tooch's daughter, my niece Lissy D'Angelo, played at Hofstra.
Oh, nice.
She was a great player. Hofstra was ranked top 25.
Big time.
Yeah, and she was like an elite player. She was a really good soccer player, and she picked up a lax stick, and that was it, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she was an elite soccer player.
And then obviously we kind of touched on it last week. Girls flag football is like
blowing up, huh?
It's blowing up, and like now it's so funny because I'm with the league. I have a leadership role, so I get like the emails when they're complaining. So like they're picking apart the rules. Like, well, if the rules there's too much contact here. Like I'm getting pictures sent to me with the refs on it. It's so funny.
Really?
But it just shows how competitive it is and how they want it, man. So like, it's not just some like, oh, we're doing it for fun. Like it's competitive. People are they're emailing their signers about rules and how people are. It's a wild thing, and I love it. It's growing.
So what's the first of all, these factories, these flag football factories you see, right? The game's like 20 minutes. How long is a real flag football game? Like, are they doing with the girls?
I think they're doing 20-minute halves, so 40-minute game.
Okay, so it's a legit game.
It's a legit game, and there's like flag guard. And it's tough because you can't flag guard, and it's similar to flag football, I guess always, but it's new to the girls.
I think it's awesome. I love the fact that they can play football. I think it's great.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty confident it's going to be a Division I sport
flag
within the next
guard,
5 years. Yeah, you can't like smack someone's hand away. You kind of have to, and then like you're not supposed to like.
Oh, you can't protect your flag.
No, and then you're not supposed to like hit, but like they're competing so hard, people are getting laid out because they're going, man.
That's fabulous.
So there's collisions, right? And then people are like, "Well, are you supposed to collide?" It's just like, "Well, they're getting after. They want to win, man." So like,
who's in charge of the rules?
It just came down. I guess the NFL, when they kind of pushed it onto the Eagles, gave a lot of money to start it up. I guess they brought the rule book. I'm not exactly sure.
Like, who governs the rules? Is that part of your job?
No, so it goes. We have an assigner, Tim Gallagher, who actually does boys football and now girls flag football. He oversees that, him and his brother Ernie. So they have all the rule book. Ernie Gal, yeah.
That's a great name, Ernie Gal.
Yeah, he's a Northeast legend, Ernie. Father Judge guy.
Ernie's are always good people.
I love Ernie's.
Yeah. Anybody named Ernie's good man. I'm an Ernie guy.
But yeah, I mean, it's just growing and like there's so much interest. But I love that their coaches are like kind of fighting about what's going on because it just shows how bad they want it.
Yeah, man, that's
so
great.
It's not just like, oh, we're going out there to try something. No, they're competing, man. There's some collisions. There's some.
That's good stuff.
So good for the girls, and I'm happy that there's a new sport is growing. I think whenever you can find a new sport and develop it, I think it's super important.
Will you spend your will you go to games this weekend? Like, will you go to any baseball, or what will you do
This weekend, I'm trying to.
Do you usually make your way during the week to a game or
So every week I'm at least a game or two, depending on the schedule. So our lacrosse team has a huge game tomorrow morning against Springfield Delco, not Monco, Springfield Delco. They're a top 10 team in the country.
Wow.
So we're playing them. We're 9-0. We're playing really well, but tomorrow's going to be a test. So they're the number one team in the state. They're nationally ranked, so we play them tomorrow at 10, so I'll be.
This is a big deal when you show up. Is everyone whispering like the AD's here? The AD's
Nah.
Yeah, like the studio executives on set. The movie.
Yeah.
Nah, I just
the GM there.
I just talk to people, try to watch and enjoy
Watch
it.
your language, act professional.
And then check in with the coach afterwards. Just I don't micromanage them, but just tell them my thoughts and what I thought they did well. Just giving constructive criticism in a good way, and because obviously he knows what's going on, but just saying as like an outsider what I saw. Right, it's always good to have
another set of eyes. Yeah.
Always to have a different viewpoint. So yeah, I'll be going to that tomorrow, and then our baseball team is going. I was actually going to go down to New York. We're playing Fordham Prep. So we're doing 2 games down there.
Very cool.
But the weather's not looking great, and then we have this big lacrosse game. So I was trying to figure a way if I could do both, but I think I'm just going to hit the lacrosse tomorrow.
Yeah, you probably won't play tomorrow. It's supposed to be a washout all day tomorrow.
I know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Lacrosse usually is like rain or shine, though. It's kind of crazy. They'll play.
No, they'll play, right? But baseball, because everybody's already planning for it.
And in New York,
rainouts.
we got their coach reached out and was like, hey, we're wooden bats only. In New
Wow.
York. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's going to be an
here.
adjustment for our kids. We've hit with aluminum always.
They're just all wood bats, huh?
Wood bats only in that league.
Wow.
In New York
That's
City.
wild.
Yeah. I was surprised when he reached out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Different thing for the boys to try out.
Yeah.
Check this out. Yeah, there's our boy all cleaned up. Look how good he looks on the announcement photo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Danny D, the AD.
Nice.
Yeah, it was. It's the last headshot I got. I was actually like 2 years old, but they needed one, so I had to send it over to them.
You gotta be. That's gotta be your moniker. You know that, Danny D, the
Oh,
AD.
I had someone come up to me. I was out in Fairmount last week with my buddy watching games, and the dude came up to me and said, Danny D, the AD. And I started cracking up. I said, oh, the cuz, man. He got to put he's got a patent that, man. People are going to start.
He gives you nicknames, they stick.
Yeah, they stick, man. This guy came up. I was literally walking out of the bathroom. He's like, oh, Danny D, the AD. I was cracking up.
I love it. I
Yeah, it
love
was
it.
great.
I love it. My brother.
But yeah, we'll continue
stuff.
to grow this list. We'll grow. We'll talk about other sports, and I'll keep giving the rundown of the leagues and try to highlight them. I'll make sure I send them over to Andrew, and we can give these kids their flowers and make sure we're getting their names out there.
That's awesome.
All
Well,
right.
stick around because we got TV Todd.
Oh,
so
yeah.
come and hang out.
All right, brother.
Stay with us.
We'll do.
There he is, TV Todd.
Act like a man. You can handle the truth.
It's time for TV time.
There he is, Todd.
Hey, wow, I'm not centered here at all. I got to get centered. What's
Listen,
going on here?
spoken like a true man of production.
You got a green screen behind you?
Yeah, he needs that.
I do. Well, you know what? My wife is a sign language interpreter, and she needs a screen behind her when she does it. And I like to sit in her room because it's got good acoustics.
She's
You got a haircut too? His hair's looking tight.
Yeah.
Oh man, VG, I was hoping that you didn't notice that.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
Wow,
it was cut a little short.
Hey, she's a little short.
Damn, look at that.
He's got the high and tight.
He does.
High and tight, baby.
They went a little short this time, but it grows fast.
Yeah.
Lucky for you.
Yeah. Hey, before we get into it, can I just tell you, Mobland? Oh, fantastic.
Cuz
I can't wait to get back into it.
Something along the lines of 8 million viewers, the biggest series Paramount Plus has ever launched internationally.
Dude, it is awesome. It's so good. It's interesting because I liked Gangs of London a lot, right? Like, I really liked it.
Yeah.
This one is a little more. What's the word? Because Tom Hardy's ridiculous, right? But and listen, I thought it was Gangs of London was well acted. I loved it, right? Like I loved it. But this one is even a little more elevated, I think, if that's the right word. I don't know how. I'm 2 episodes in, so I can't. I'm reserving judgment.
I don't know about okay. I kind of
don't want to say elevated.
Gangs of London was just more brutal, right?
Right.
I mean, it was just brutality. Every episode, you just left. You were shook after every episode. This is more of a traditional kind of drama, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You know what it was? It was a little Gangs of London. I loved it, but it was a little even for me. Like, all right, dude. Like, we're trying to come up with a new way to kill somebody, right? Like, I appreciate that, right? But after a while, it was like they just needed to dial the killings back just a little bit because the less is more theory. Like, there was one, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there was one scene that is haunting, that to me was the greatest scene, and you know what I'm going to say. The greatest scene ever was what in Gangs of London?
The bucket?
Yes, exactly. So they have a guy buried up until to their head.
Okay.
And there's a bucket over his head, right? It was in the ground, and there's a bucket over his head. And I'm not going to tell the other part of the story, which is really brutal, but it freaks you out because all of a sudden, like, he lifts the bucket up and it's some dude's head and he's in the ground and it's startling. Like, it's so great. Like, there was another scene where a guy gets cooked alive, right? On a
cooked
spit.
in what? On a spit?
Yeah. And like that was great, but the idea of the bucket,
great.
The bucket,
great. Guy cooked on a spit was great.
Yeah, but the bucket one needed to breathe, right? And then skip another episode or two, then come back with hit me over the head with one. That makes sense?
Man, that bucket and the bucket scene is at the beginning of that series.
Yes.
It just kind of sets the stage.
Yes.
It sets the stage. Yeah, no, listen, they're 2 very different series, but it's great. I mean, Paramount Plus, I got to say, man, they're between that and all the Dexter programming that they're doing, they're doing well again.
Yeah, they're killing it. I root for. Listen, I want all these streamers to do well.
Well, this I know you do. The more buyers, the better. This week is really interesting. I can't remember the last time we had 4 major series returning in 1 week, like major series returning in 1 week, and then we got a couple good new ones, but. I mean, Black Mirror, as you know, is one of my favorite series of all time.
It's a great series. It really is.
6 episodes dropped on Thursday, and the reviews are off the charts, saying it's the best Black Mirror ever. It's filled with cameos from celebrities. It's even got a sequel to the USS Callister episode.
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, the only thing about Black Mirror that drives me nuts is I know that after I watch this, we're not going to see it again for another couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah, so you try to slow play it because it's so good.
Yeah,
they're all like mini movies. Every episode's a mini movie.
They're all standalone. You can watch them. They're an hour to 2 hours. And man, I'm excited about that. But listen, in 1 week, you got Black Mirror, you got Handmaid's Tale, you got Hacks, and you got The Last of Us. These are 4 major juggernaut shows. You know, I mean, for HBO Max, The Last of Us season 1, which was, my God, like 2 years ago now.
It was so good.
It was a massive hit.
So I never watched it. Should I watch it?
Yeah, I think you would like it. Well, do you like zombies? Because it's zombies.
I mean...
But it's like tasteful zombies. It's not like
is the story
Walking
behind
Dead.
the zombies?
There's story, yeah. So
like,
it's based on a video game. That's where it originated. The story came from a video game, and it's really good.
Right.
I liked it a lot.
It's a different kind of zombie. It's not the normal zombie. It's a
fungal.
This is what freaks you out. In most zombie movies or shows, you don't really know how they become zombie. It's kind of like Supernatural. Here, they explain they explain that there's mushrooms, right? Fungi.
Yeah.
And in real life, they infect other plants, and it figures out a way to mutate into humans and into our brain, which, by the way,
All right,
totally
well, that-
scientifically possible.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
they're-
what? That now, all right, now that I could buy that because I can easily suspend disbelief.
Yeah, there are actual mushrooms out there that can control other life forms, and it's very
Yes.
weird and scary. Very
Mushrooms, yeah,
scary. Yeah,
really,
yeah, they take like hosts.
really.
Yeah, they'll host a
and that's
body and
what-
control it, mind control.
Yeah,
In
and that's
science
exactly
class
what
the
the
other
show is about.
Get
They
out of
figure
here!
out, yeah, they figure out how to control humans, and the first season takes place like 20 years into this quote unquote pandemic, and now the new season that starts Sunday night takes place 5 years later from the first season. So people are pretty excited. Pedro Pascal's the star of it.
I
They're
love
pretty excited
Pedro
about it.
Pascal.
Yeah,
he's
he's
the
great.
best.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
But Handmaid's Tale is its final season. That was a massive show, and it's in its final season, so
Now,
people are pretty
what's
pumped
that
about that.
about?
Well, again, a little too close to home, some may say. It's again a post-apocalyptic world where the men sort of take over the government and women are just handmaids basically because women can't get pregnant. So women are basically controlled by men, and it's dark. It is dark.
Did you just ask what Handmaid's Tale is? Wow, really?
I didn't know. I've never watched it.
Wow.
Why? Really? You watched it?
I don't watch it. I just know.
You know what's funny? If I'm out on something, I'm completely oblivious to it. I just don't have enough time to process everything.
You don't pay enough attention to like pop culture news and stuff. Like
I
it's
don't.
always in the news.
In fact,
I feel
I'm
like.
anti pop culture news. I just don't. I don't even want to.
Didn't the first season come out in like 2013 or
Feels
something
like-
like that?
like a long
2012
time
almost?
ago.
Like long time.
Yes. They waited a long time between seasons, especially this last one. And
Did you watch it, son?
I watched everything up until this season. I haven't seen the new season. It just started.
You like it?
Yeah, it's really good, but it is. I mean, it's dark and disturbing. It really is. There's some parts of it that are very, very difficult to take. It's based on a book series.
And it's post-apocalypse. See, that's the other thing. I'm not.
Everything's post-apocalyptic
I know.
these days.
I know.
I, feel like.
I'm out on the post.
Me too. Me too.
I always like. I'm bad because I always like period pieces, not the futuristic stuff.
I'm with you. Well, I don't like period
There's
pieces either.
Speaking of period. Well, speaking of period, not really pyramid pieces, but I think Andrew Fraser, you may be into this one. There's a movie that just came out streaming that I've been wanting to see on Max that Kyle Mooney did from Saturday Night Live, and it's a movie called Y2K, and it basically is like this horror comedy that takes place on the eve of the year 2000, where the machines kind of, go to town on us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it seems funny. Yeah,
That's good.
Good concept.
That's good concept. Dude, I was flying. Dude, you'll love this. I was covering the Flyers. I did a West Coast trip over, in fact, I was leaving the Inquirer. I was going to go to work for WIP. And they asked me to do it was over the holidays. And they asked me to do a Flyers trip. Remember how you would always go west, Canadian West during that period? So I was coming back from Vancouver. And in fact, I ran into my buddy Vinny in Minnesota. I was connecting. We hung out for the night, and I was flying back New Year's Eve day, Y2K. And so we were time was like, we got to go, we're going to do something, whatever we were going to do for New Year's Eve. We're over at girlfriend's or something. And everybody was worried, like that, oh my God, what's going to happen and the amount of malfunctions. And they were like, she's like, you shouldn't fly, something's going to happen. And there was a lot of real fear that I'll never forget going into that time.
Yeah, because our computer systems didn't know if they could handle the flipping over to the year 2000. So I think that's what this movie really is about, like the what if. Like, what if stuff really did go bad?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good concept.
Seems kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're not. I know, cuz I know your sensibility and you're not a huge comedy guy. Like, I get it. But I would think you would really like the show Hacks because It's it's about a comedy writer's room type stuff, but she ends up writing for what's loosely based on like a Joan Rivers character. It's really good. I mean, it's won. I can't even count the number of awards the show has won.
I do know that how critically acclaimed it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure it really needed a season 4 because season 3 ended in a way you could have really ended the entire series, but season 4 just started as well. So you got a lot of again, big shows that are coming back, but also, we talked about it. I think we talked about it last week about the new John Hamm show on Apple called Your Friends and Neighbors. That starts tonight too.
And what's the premise there? Again,
the premise is he's a hedge fund guy who somehow loses all of his money or gets fired.
Oh, right. He's robbing his friends.
He ends up robbing his neighbors.
That's great. Yeah. That's a great. I'm in on that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So I mean, like tons of content right now.
My God, I got to make a list.
This Minecraft movie is 193 million in the first week.
That's horrible.
I mean, that's not my thing, but
all the kids.
What's funny?
I love the Minecraft.
They were all talking about it.
My kids go nuts over that nonsense.
I know.
Over that stuff.
Well, you got all the merchandise tie-ins, the McDonald's Happy Meal, everything.
Yeah.
But you know what makes me laugh about these? Now I can't take these movies seriously because of the TV show The Studio, where they make fun of buying the IP and making the Kool-Aid movie, or buying the IP and making Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like now I can't even take it seriously.
I know. No, it's such a. But it's great because you touched on this last week when we talked about The Studio, where it was like all the executives get into the business because they love film, and they wind up destroying it.
Because they're going for a sure thing. So it's easier to buy Minecraft or Kool-Aid or whatever. You know you're going to make some money. Yeah. Why take a chance on anything? Like, there's a little film. It's not really a little film, but it's not getting a ton of play because of the Minecraft movie. But there's a little horror thriller kind of thing, more of a thriller called The Drop that's opening up in theaters today, where the premise of it is very simple. This woman goes on a date, like a blind date. And while she's on the blind date, she gets a message on her phone, a drop from somebody else in the restaurant. You don't know who, and basically says, if you don't kill your date tonight, we have your daughter and your family, and we're gonna kill them. And she has to figure out who in the restaurant dropped it and whether or not to kill him or not. Like it's one of those. It seems almost like an Alfred Hitchcock type.
I'm in on that.
Situation.
That's good.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Fraser's making it shrug.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
I like it.
I'll see it. I love that horror stuff, so I'll definitely watch
That's
it.
not more horror. That's a good thriller.
Yeah,
thriller.
You know what?
It's cop.
Yeah.
You know what I like about it, Fraser? I like movies that are set in one location like that. I think like the way Hitchcock would do it with Rope or Lifeboat. I love the one location where everything has to happen in that location. That is so cool to me, and it feels real time.
Can I ask you a question about a movie? A24 came out with the new movie called Warfare. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I don't know it.
It's like a military movie, a modern military movie. It looks really good, A24.
What's the premise?
Looks like they're like soldiers out in like Iraq.
Okay, well,
I don't know if they're like
a war movie. Can you be more generic?
They're like in the Middle East. It's a band of brothers
It's a
kind
war
of
in the
thing.
Middle East called Warfare.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like a unit. I don't really know too much about it. I just saw the trailer. It looked pretty cool. A24 making a war movie seems pretty
There you go. A surveillance mission goes wrong for a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq.
I can get behind that.
Thank you.
I can get
Well,
behind that.
that's why I was asking him. I wanted to know about the
but
movie.
if you're going to bring a show up,
15-second search,
if you're going to bring the show, if you're going to bring a movie up or a show up, you got to get the premise. Like you're going to go, hey, this is the premise. Read the synopsis.
I didn't read it, so.
I know.
Now I know.
That's a mistake.
Yeah.
You got to read the synopsis.
Well, that's
man.
why I was asking.
That's
I
why
wanted to ask
they're
him.
making Minecraft for him. All right.
They are.
Guys
Yeah,
like
100%.
him.
100%.
It's a freaking world. Nobody reads. Everybody's stupid.
Oh man.
You too, Joey.
Oh man.
It's for Warfare. Andrew catching shrapnel here.
Yeah, Warfare
nicely
here.
done. Nicely done, Todd.
No, but look at VG saves the day. The whole thing.
Yeah, Google's your friend.
Well, you're prepped. What else we got? This is great. This is I'm enjoying this discussion.
The only other movie I probably should mention is there's this film called The Amateur, which comes out in theaters today with Rami Malek, and it's basically like he's some CIA decoder, and his wife is killed in a terroristic attack, and he goes after the terrorists. It looks like a big
trailer.
action.
Yeah. And they're like,
it looks like a big.
They're like, you're not a field guy. Like they're like, yeah, that's good. I'm in on that. I always like CIA stuff.
If you're into the big action adventure thriller, it sounds like that's a fun popcorn movie for you.
Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
All right, because we talk about a lot of films and a lot of shows on it, but there's one genre that you rarely touch on, and I get why. What am I going to say?
I don't know. What genre?
Foreign. I want more foreign films. All right.
I love that. I love that stuff. I just, your audience gives me a hard time.
Whoa. We can't read subtitles?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
This ain't Johnny Mark's show. Come on. Oh, hey.
I can read those.
We read comments.
No, man. That's the one thing I get hit back from your audience all the time. The side, you got to put subtitles for this. I'm not into that. I love that stuff.
I know you do. And I'm telling you, I want one a week.
Who's attacking you? I want names. I want names of people who are attacking you.
I want one a week.
I'll tell you, it was not Big Farts Jones.
No, of course not.
I just want one recommendation a week. All right?
I love it. Let's do it.
All right? I don't care what it is.
Absolutely.
Add a foreign film. And I love Italian cinema, so it's one of my favorites. So if you see one of those,
great.
All right?
Todd, I didn't watch the finale yet, but White Lotus, what was your thoughts on this season? Did you watch it?
I know everybody's talking about it. I love it because I'm a huge Mike White fan. Like people don't understand. They're watching this now and they're like, wow, it's dark and emotional and whatnot. That's who he is. They think of him as School of Rock, which is great, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, I told you guys, go back and watch this indie film called Chuck and Buck. You will see the beginnings of this guy and understand his sensibility. I personally love the ending of it. I thought to me it wrapped up the storylines. It captured the character's emotion. I think he's a genius. I really do.
Yeah. No, listen, it's well done.
I mean, if everyone's talking about, you're doing something right? Regardless of everyone's locked in, they can't turn it off.
You know what it is, though? It's brilliant. It's brilliant in the sense that the location is a character, right? And you pick the location. So, you build these dramatic storylines and weave them in this, like I know a friend of mine who you'll meet at some point, taking a break from the hockey season, going to Sicily and staying at the White Lotus Hotel in Sicily.
My dad was really upset because they used a different city than it's actually in. I think it was in Chaflu, but they said it was somewhere else.
Taormina.
Or Taormina. He was my dad was upset they weren't being honest about the location.
No, he's right.
Sicily. It's one of the towns in Sicily, but I forget.
You're right. It's Taormina, and they use vice versa, Cefalo.
Yeah.
And you know that show was born out of the pandemic. I mean, the reason that they did, he was living in Hawaii, and the first season was just born out of the fact that they were sitting around bored, going crazy, climbing the walls, and he created something they could shoot during the pandemic that was contained. That was the whole reason why it was created.
Brilliant. It's brilliant.
But I'll tell you this, AD, I'm calling you the AD, totally right that, when you catch fire on a show, like I was going to bring this up to you, cuz, and I didn't, but you made me think about it. So it's so rare to catch a show. We do all these shows. So many don't get picked up. Somebody get on the air. So few of them get into the zeitgeist of our pop culture, right? But the other night, so you guys know that I do the show, The Curious Case of Natalia Grace and The Curious Case spinoff series. The other night, the Phillies put up a graphic that said The Curious Case of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Wow, that's awesome. You're in the zeitgeist.
Right, it could be
something that's in the zeitgeist.
But it could be that the person that did that doesn't even watch the show, but
it's in your subconscious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
No, it's in the ether.
In the ether.
When it's in the ether, trust me, as someone that has been on the air forever, like I'll hear people say stuff that I say, that I've said, only because it's in the ether.
Play the song.
Bust out. Like, I heard somebody say bust out. I'm like, I know you got that from me. Four for four. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's great. But all it is it's because you have a pulpit and you put stuff in the ether and it becomes out there. And then somehow.
And social media now puts it out there, so the words are in your brain, even if you're not connecting them to a show. I mean, maybe they watch and maybe they don't.
No, well, I think maybe they do, man. Your show's popular. It's huge. It's big.
It is very popular.
It's big.
There's no doubt.
Yes, man. The Curious Case of the Philadelphia Phillies. I freaking love it.
Love it.
You made it, kid.
That's really cool.
You made it, kid. You done good. You done good, kid.
I love it.
Finally did it in my 50s. I finally did it.
Ma. I did it.
Hey, I'm just trying to get it before I die.
Yeah.
All right. Great stuff, my brother. As always, Flyers wrapping it up. We got a couple left. Tomorrow, what do you think? They put a 6 spot up on the aisle?
I think they're loose and feeling it. I think we should go for 10 tomorrow.
Yeah, baby. Listen, Rangers.
But we need tomorrow's Mitch Koff's day, right?
Yes.
He's got to light him up tomorrow.
Yes. The Rangers lit up the Islanders last night. So I'm expecting Michkov to go wild tomorrow. The kid's got to get a Hattie. Forster got the Hattie. Now it's time for the Michkov Hattie.
Absolutely.
They're bringing us back from excitement for next year, the way they're finishing.
That's right.
These young guys coming up to get everyone
I'm
riled
fired
up.
up for the Fly guys.
I think they go all in next year. I think they make some trades, get a little veteran leadership, and I think they.
And then next summer, not this summer, next summer, is when they go spend to get the big free agent.
Got to do it.
And then we'll be looking for the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Todd. We love you.
Love you guys. Have a great weekend.
See you, brother.
Good work,
Todd.
Here it is. All right, time now for the Rite Aid back in the day.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
I think you love when we get on there, Frazier.
We're going back. We're going back.
No, there's this movie. It's a war movie. Warfare.
We're going back.
It's about war
Called
in the Middle East.
Called Warzone.
With Rite Aid.
So I was answering the question.
Hey, what do you think about that new movie called Fire? What's it about? Fire.
All right, what do we got for Rite Aid?
From 1918 to 1942, the Phillies totally stunk. A bunch of 100 lost seasons. 1943, they had 90 losses. They had new ownership, and they wanted to create a spark with the fans. So they asked a contest for a new nickname for the Phillies. And they came up with the Phillies Blue Jays.
Ew.
They had 5,098 people submitted entries. You got a $100 war bond and a woman named Elizabeth Crooks. She created the Blue Jay on the 2 L's. And she says it reflects a new team spirit. The Blue Jay's colorful and personality, and his plumage is a brilliant blue, a color the Phillies could use decoratively and psychologically.
Well, guess what? Let me ask you a question. That blue looks like the powder blue that was born in the 70s.
It does.
And they kind of got in the Philly. The new ones kind of have mixed those colors together too. The Friday jerseys.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah. She was right.
Got the yellow, blue, different blues.
So it was on their sleeve. It lasted like 2 seasons, and they pulled it off.
The J?
Yeah.
It's
a good fun fact there, though.
That is a good fun fact. I like it. All right. What do you got on store, Frage?
What, this weekend?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No?
I got my uncle's 70th birthday. That's it.
Uncle who?
Uncle Mark.
Yo, Uncle Mark.
Yeah,
Happy
my Uncle
birthday,
Mark.
Uncle
Yeah.
Mark. That's awesome.
That's about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. How about you, Joey?
I don't know. My friends are hitting me up going to New York, so I'm.
You're going to New York?
This guy's international. This guy's everywhere, man.
Yeah. He doesn't stay in Philadelphia.
He's just on the move, man.
He's too big for Philly.
Around a lot.
He moves around.
Love it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like it.
That's going to be a last-minute decision.
You know, you're going to be in charge of the new skateboarding sport.
Yeah, we're going
to
build my boy a skate park, man.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get the X Games going. Let's go, baby.
How about you? What are you doing, brother?
Just trying to lay low.
You got lax?
Got lax Saturday.
Boys hanging out this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Fellas
kind
night?
of a dip after the tournament, man. The weekends are so much fun, and
I know.
I think this is to regenerate this weekend.
Yeah,
We had a lot of weekends in a row out.
It's
All
nice
talk.
times to draft. That was a great tournament,
Great.
man. I
It was
loved
fun, man. I know we didn't get the
loved it.
upsets, but it was still fun. It was
I loved
still
it.
my favorite time of year. It's the
The
best.
best. I'm
It's
with
the
you.
best.
How about you, VG?
I got friends in town all weekend. My best buddy from college coming in today from Pittsburgh.
Nice.
I got friends from Florida, and we're going to go to Oscar's. See Oscar Tequilas tomorrow
Give
for dinner.
Oscar my love.
Yeah, let's go see the new revitalized tequilas.
Yes, right on Locust, 17th and 16th.
Yeah.
I think you should
17th
maybe
Locust Street.
start performing in front of them so we can build up for the Parks crowd. You know,
the Cosettes.
yeah,
We should get some Cosette shirts. We'll get our Bobby deal crew Cosette shirts.
Done. I'm gonna get that done. I can't wait.
What are you doing this weekend?
Yeah, sports.
Yeah. Sports.
Yeah, sports. That's it. I don't know. We may get washed.
Yeah.
So,
With this weather,
recharge the battery when it gets washed out. This is a good recharge weekend.
Yeah. Although Anthony is rowing, and I have not been to any of the rowing events.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So I know Sunday morning he's got one on the Schuylkill. But do they row in the rain?
Yeah, they do.
Why do they row in the rain?
It's a sport unless it's too windy where it's getting the water.
Rain don't collect in the boat and slow them down.
I mean, there's times they're slower, but they still go. It's just about if the water's how the water's reacting to it.
Interesting.
But I've been to some big races in terrible weather. So
Really?
yeah, if it's just pouring, I've been at them. But usually the families have tents set up, like the cheering sections. But yeah, I mean, I've learned so much about crew. My time in the prep, they're like. This year, they're probably going to finish top 3 in the country
Really?
again.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable, man. Something special.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. All right, well, that's going to do it for us, everybody. Chat. Thank you, chat. Love you guys for watching. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Be careful. We'll see you in the morning or Monday.
Go Phil.
We all silly like the mayor.